On June 29, 2005, Reverend Ivon Harris and his 24-year-old daughter Sarah were brutally murdered in the family's home in Buffalo Grove, Illinois. Police zeroed in on Ivon's wife, Reverend Eileen Harris. When evidence at the scene suggested that the family's former cleaner, Richard Sedelmaier, could have been involved, detectives questioned if Eileen could have arranged a murder for hire. Determined to uncover the truth, police bring Sedelmaier down to the station for questioning.
Hey Russell, could I get you soda pop or water?
Just
Anything?
water.
Some water? Okay. Are you hungry at all?
No.
Okay. I'll get you that water right away. Hey Russell, how you doing? Okay. You didn't have a seat there on this side. I just want to go over here. This one here. Okay. You get enough water? You okay?
Yeah.
Okay. You remember who I am, right? I'm Detective Schwartz with the Lake County Major Crime Task Force. Okay. I work for the county, for Lake County. You understand that? I just want to introduce myself. Russell Sedelmaier. You go by Russell?
Yes.
Okay. Obviously, you know we're investigating what happened to Mr. Harris and Sarah, right? And we talked about that a little bit.
Yeah.
But we wanted to talk about a few things, kind of go over a few more things, maybe some stuff that we didn't cover, that type of thing. Okay? But of course, we brought you down here, so it's a little bit different. We're out there, so anytime we bring anybody down here, we talk to them, I want to make sure everybody understands their rights. You ever watch any cop shows, anything like that?
Yeah.
You ever have your rights read to you before?
No.
I know you never have been arrested for nothing serious, right?
No.
Did you say you had like a DUI or something? Do you know what your rights are?
Yeah.
You had them? Okay, you understand? What I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna read them to you. Just advise, you have your rights, so you understand them. I'm gonna read them from this form and make sure you understand, no problems, okay? And then we'll go over a few things, we'll see if we can clear some stuff up. All right? So you understand you have the right to remain silent. You understand that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Anything you say can be used against you in the court or other proceedings. You understand that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You have the right to talk to a lawyer for advice before asking the questions and have him present during questions. You understand that?
Yeah.
Okay. Can't afford a lawyer, one will be appointed for you, free of any cost to you before any question if you wish. You understand all those rights? Okay. Like I said, this is your advisement on your rights, make sure you understand them. I just need you to initial each one of those, 1 through 4, put your initials there. And if you understand your rights, just sign them. We'll get this out of the way. I appreciate your attitude and everything, and you don't mind talking to us, we'll get this taken care of, you have no problem with that, right?
No.
Okay, good. All right, let's go over a few things. Now, you work for upstairs, downstairs cleaning, right? And you guys, you and Yolanda clean for the Harrises, right, you said?
Yeah. Over 5 years.
Over 5 years, okay. Now, how many times a week or a month do you usually clean for them?
Usually twice a month.
Twice a month, and you've been doing that for over 5 years?
Yeah.
Okay.
Except they skip or we skip or. You know.
Now, recently, remember we asked you a little bit about when the last time you might have been there to clean for Harris's at their house? Remember about when it was? How long ago?
Probably a month ago.
A month ago. So today's like the 18th of June, so it would have been, or the July, or would have been.
No, it would have probably been longer because we were supposed to be there Monday, this Monday. Last Monday we were supposed to, that was our regular cleaning, and then we skipped one because of vacations, so yeah, about a month.
Okay. So you skipped because you were on vacation or Yolanda was on vacation?
We both been on vacation. She went there. I don't want to go to a Polish wedding in Canada, so.
Yeah. You just took the whole week off, both of you?
Yeah.
Okay. You didn't clean anywhere else?
No, I didn't do nothing.
Okay, so from the time of that vacation week, prior to that, what was the last time you were out at the house?
Probably 2 weeks.
2 weeks prior to that?
Yeah.
And that was like the 24th of June, was that week? Or 25th,
Yeah.
26th, something like that? So maybe the 20th of June you might have been there?
Yeah, I'm not sure what the date
Okay,
is.
what the date was. Is it on a certain date,
It's
a
always,
day?
always Monday.
Always a Monday. Okay, anytime, have you ever gone on a Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday to the house?
You know, when we first started, the first time, a few times, it was like a Saturday.
Okay.
That was in like 98.
All right. I think you said something about last time you do it Monday because they're off work or something.
They're off work.
So who, both of them, or are they usually home?
Sometimes she goes to work if she's got something to do in the hospital, but
Okay.
most of the time they're home.
All right, so the last, do you ever clean with anybody else or just you and Yolanda?
Neither one of them.
Anybody ever else, take either your place or her place or go with the two of you?
No,
Never? Okay, now, how long you been working for, you said upstairs, downstairs? Like for this guy?
about 6 years.
6 years, so a little bit longer than, you've been working doing the Harris's
Mhm.
house. Okay. Now, after, you guys took vacation, so you made it the week before, or 2 weeks before that, you said?
Yeah.
2 weeks before that,
Yeah, 2 weeks
2 weeks before that, that week of vacation. What did you say Yolanda did when she went on vacation?
She went to Canada
She went to Canada?
for
You
a
know what?
wedding.
Okay. What day, do you have any idea what day she left for Canada about?
It was Thursday.
Thursday?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Thursday, do you remember what day? I can't remember. Did you guys work that week?
23rd, I think it was, the Thursday.
23rd
Mhm.
of June, right?
It was,
And she flew, right? You saying that?
she flew to American Airlines.
Okay. Did you, how'd you get to the airport?
Hmm?
Did you drive her?
I took
Okay.
it.
You know what time of the day she flew?
Going there was like, when she left, I think she had a flight 1 o'clock, and it was 2 hours late, so.
Okay, so between 1 and 3 p.m. in the afternoon? Not in the morning, right?
No, in the afternoon, but I took her a few hours before time, so,
Okay, so maybe noon,
yeah.
something like that, you went to the airport? Okay, and that was on Thursday, the 23rd. And then when she came back, was it Thursday too?
Yeah, Thursday, the 31st.
All right. Now, how did she get back? Did you pick her up
I
at the
picked her
airport?
up.
Okay, what time, do you know what time she came back? About?
About 9 or 10 it was.
So that would have been the 30th, if it was about the 23rd, 9 or 10?
Yeah.
It's at night?
9, 10.
Okay. Did you go with anybody to go to the airport, either way?
No.
Just you?
Hmm.
You guys have any kids, either of you?
Just the animals. She got a daughter, but she lives in Alaska.
Okay, so the only relatives or whatever you guys take care of is the animals, dog and stuff like that?
Dog and cat, yeah.
Okay. All right, so now she was gone that whole week, and we know this happened. Did you hear about what happened to Harris, Mr. Harris? and Sarah?
I seen it Thursday.
You saw it Thursday?
On the evening news.
On the evening news?
Yeah.
Okay, that was the same night that you picked up, Yolanda?
Yes.
Okay. You saw the evening news. So, how'd you know, I mean, you saw, you obviously knew right away who it
No,
was.
I
you
seen
know.
it. I seen the pictures, so.
Okay. Now, then you went to go pick up Yolanda later that night?
Mhm.
Or was it before you went to the airport, or what time?
Wow.
Like what time, what evening news, what time you think it was when you
It
heard
was
it?
the 5 and 6 o'clock.
Okay. All right, and then you went later, you went to the airport.
To get along there.
Okay. Did you, when you went and saw Yolanda, did you tell her about what happened?
Yeah.
Did she know or no, already or no?
No, she didn't know.
She was on a plane.
She couldn't believe it.
She couldn't believe it.
Yes, but I'm joking because she
Mhm.
couldn't believe it.
Now, obviously it happened, you said you saw it Thursday night. What did you do Thursday during the day before you went to go pick up Yolanda?
Nothing. I watched the big Cubs game. I watched it Thursday and Wednesday and the other game on Tuesday. So they game on Tuesday too.
So Thursday, let's just stay with one day at a time, let's make it kind of straighten things out. Thursday that you went to go get Yolanda back from Canada, and you'd already heard about what happened. What'd you do that day? What were you doing? What kind of things did you do when you were off vacation?
Well, I took the dog out.
Mm-hmm.
And then we went to the park.
You walked the dog? Picked it up?
I drove the dog to the forest preserve over there. It's on Milwaukee and the
Okay.
No,
Okay.
then just come back and,
It's by yourself, or?
yeah, stay at home.
So drove the dog there. Anything else? Did you see anybody during the day Thursday at all?
Well, the neighbors probably see me downstairs.
That's the people downstairs
Yeah,
from you? Okay.
downstairs, the people in the next yard where they are, the students.
Are you good friends with anybody in the neighborhood? I mean, like where you would regularly maybe have a beer with or
No.
anything like that?
They see me, the woman downstairs, she don't get along with her, she's always,
Oh, the downstairs lady you have a problem with, or
she's always,
she's drunk a lot? Okay. So no one in the neighborhood that you really would say, yeah, I was sitting there, would have a beer with her, we're talking for a couple of hours in the yard or anything?
no, we're not really, we just moved there.
How long you been there?
That apartment probably about 8 months,
And you were in Kenneth before that, right?
yeah,
So you don't really know a lot of people in the neighborhood too much?
you know.
Kind
And
of-
there is like people that they're usually never outside.
They're never around the area, you mean?
There's older people, and they're usually in this,
Okay.
just downstairs, they're always in the yard, they get the snow swimming pool out
Okay. Now, so that's your week of vacation, you're on vacation. Did you go anywhere at all that week? Like out of town or
there.
anything?
Just stayed around the house.
Did you see anybody? Do you have any relatives, like you visit anybody?
No, I don't
No.
know.
No, your father is alive still, or?
No,
Okay.
your mother's dead.
Mother's dead also. Do you have any brothers or sisters?
We got a father and sister, but we don't get along. I don't even know where they're at.
So you have really no family?
No. Just
How about any real close friends, any buddies?
Nah.
I mean, you know what I mean, that you have a beer with regular,
Yeah, a long time ago.
so just you and your owner pretty much?
Yeah, I stopped in the bar scene.
Okay. Now, do you go to any bars in the neighborhood? Is there any local taverns or anywhere?
I don't go to the bars. No.
You,
For one, after my DUI, I stopped.
well, you went to the house, that was like 2000,
And I stopped driving and stuff.
Okay. Well, you don't even drive anymore? Or you don't just drink and drive?
I don't drink and drive. I drive.
Okay. But do you drink it off still at home, or
Yeah.
what do you normally drink?
Light beer.
White beer?
Light. While I was sleeping when you come, I had a few drinks I ate and
Afterward?
laid on the couch and went to sleep.
I don't know, just probably inside you. So then, okay, let's go back to Wednesday then, the day before that you heard about it. What were you doing that day? Like what time you normally wake up in the morning? What time you think you woke up on Wednesday?
That was about 6 or 7.
In the morning?
Yeah.
Okay.
Usually,
Is that what time you get up?
no, usually,
For work or?
usually 4 o'clock in the
Oh,
morning.
4 in the morning?
Take the dog out,
Mhm.
go ahead and, go to work.
What time you usually leave for? When you do work in general?
Well, all depends where we're going, but most of the time about 10 to start, 4 to 7.
Okay.
Because we start 8 o'clock and we've been going a few minutes early because of the 10 or 15 minutes early because of all the construction for the class.
Traffic, I don't know. So, let's go back to, like I said, that Wednesday before Joanna came home. You woke up, you think about what, 6 or 7 again?
6 or 7.
Okay. And then, what was the rest of your day like?
Let the dog out right now. Then we went out, go home, watch a little TV.
Took the dog out that morning?
Yeah, I always gotta take him out right in
Right.
the morning.
Were you taking him in the yard or you walk him?
Walk him around the block by the school is a few blocks away.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that takes what, half hour?
Yeah,
What'd
probably.
you do the rest of the day? And then, by time? Did you have lunch? I mean, did you go anywhere for lunch or you eat at home?
No, I ate it home.
What time did you have lunch about?
I don't really eat
You know,
much.
I'm just trying to get an
I just
idea.
ate some eggs and bacon and, I didn't eat nothing until towards the evening, so.
Okay. So did you, What time did you leave the house? What, besides walking the dog Wednesday? What time did you leave the house? Either to go to the store or to go anywhere? What's the first time?
I think about 11, I went to get a six-pack from the corner by the liquor store.
No, did you drive?
No, I walked.
So it's a corner liquor store?
Yeah,
There was about a lot of,
about 11, around lunchtime, yeah.
okay, between 11 and 12.
Yeah,
Now, what's the name of the liquor store?
it's called Convenience.
And which corner was it at?
It's Milwaukee and Broadmoor.
You remember the court that served you at all? Was there a lot of different people working there, or seeing people all the time?
3 or 4 Haitian,
Okay. So was this an Asian guy too?
yeah. Yeah.
All right, and then, now you said after you went to the convenience store, you get some liquor, what'd you get? You remember what you bought?
But it's a six-pack of light, that's it.
Anything else, food, cigarettes, anything like that? You smoke?
Yeah,
Okay.
but I had cigarettes at home, usually by my car.
Black card, what kind you smoke?
Hmm?
Menthol, regulars, what?
Regular.
Anything in particular brand?
Basics, whatever's on sale.
Like what? For instance.
Basics, like.
Oh, the name of the cigarettes,
Yeah.
Basics?
Mm-hmm.
And what's that one, Liggets?
Mm-hmm. If I get coupons in the mail, I marvel it.
Okay. Okay. So you went to the store, got just a beer, you came back to the home, to the house,
Yeah.
you walked by yourself, you didn't walk the dog with you or anything?
No, I can't.
Okay, and you went to the house, and then what'd you do?
I had a couple of beers and then
Mhm.
waiting for the Cubs game to come on, like I said, I wanted to see that game because it was the Kerry Woods comeback.
Now, you know what time the game came on? Okay.
And that was the 120 style.
1:20?
You
Okay, so, did you watch the game, or the whole thing, or?
Yeah, I watched the whole game.
Okay, now, were you at home when you watched it, you said, at home?
Yeah,
All right, now, do you remember who won?
Cubs did. Just, I think they won it and, I think that game went to extras. And Kerry Woods didn't get the winner because they come in relief and they tied it up.
Did you watch it with anybody or by yourself?
It's just me.
Just you and the dog?
I don't have, yeah, the dog and the kid, I don't.
Do you have any friends or any people?
Mm.
Okay, so then, what time of game then do you usually think about?
It was about 4:30.
Did you go out, then what'd you do?
Yeah, I took the dog and I took him out in the yard, I wet him down with the hose, well, the kids were downstairs. She was down there, they were watching.
Okay. You think that was about 4:30?
Yeah, it was about 5 o'clock.
4:35, 4:35? But it was right after the game, not the one after the game. I'm sure you didn't
No,
miss
not-
any of the games.
No, it was
For the dog, right?
After the game.
You can remember everything down here. Okay, so then you wet the dog, how long in the yard with the dog?
No, I wet him down completely, so 5 minutes maybe, it would take a while to wet him down.
And then we went back up to the house?
No, I
Oh,
walked
wet or-
him, no, I walked him for.
Oh, then you walked up.
Yeah,
Okay.
we went for a long walk, long, probably 30 minutes, 40-minute walk.
Okay. 30 or 40 minutes, huh? Where'd you go?
Up and down the street, went almost to the Nagel, and like a big square area.
Yep.
Needs to pee everywhere. You know,
Especially is the older dog or the younger?
about 4 years.
Oh, yeah. Especially, you know, so. Your boy?
Female.
Oh, female. So then, you came home, we're talking about what time? You got home, it's 2 o'clock, I thought. Done.
In bed, tell me about it. 5:30,
So. Okay. Then, what was the rest of the evening?
I guess I started watching, I think it was the Law and Order. I was watching,
Watch TV,
yeah,
till about what time?
till about 8, I think. 8, 7:30, then I went back to, I went to the liquor store again, bought some more beer.
You went back to the convenience store?
Mm-hmm.
And it was about what time?
About 7:38.
Or would you buy them?
It's 12 pack of beer.
You drink a lot of beer?
No.
Did you go out of beer?
No, it's
Finished the 6-pack and now you're working out the wall?
on vacation.
Okay. So you didn't have to get up the next morning to take care of anything, or
No.
anything except for get what you wanted later, right? Did you want to drink too?
Cheers, lady. Yeah.
So you bought 12-pack of beer, you walked to the convenience store, back home, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then what? What's the rest of the night?
And I started watching TV.
So about what
And
time?
then, no, then I ordered, yeah, I ordered shrimp dinner.
Ordered shrimp?
And around 10.
What do you mean you ordered it from where?
The delivery, I think they still have Montrose. I usually would get it 3 different places. I think it was, Vincent's, I think it was.
That was about what time?
Well, 9:30.
From Vince's?
Yeah, I think it was Vincent's.
Now, how did you order it? You called on the phone?
Yeah,
So,
I give him the,
do you have a home phone and a cell phone, or just a home phone,
I
or what do you
use,
got?
I use the home phone.
Home phone. What's your, home phone?
It's 773
Mm-hmm.
775
775.
6189.
Now, that's your home phone.
Yeah.
Do you have another phone, a cell phone now?
Yolanda's got a cell phone.
Did she have it with her in Canada, or did she leave it at home?
She had it with, in case of emergency, we gotta
So
go.
it's a cell phone, she can call from there, or you could call there on a cell phone. What's her cell phone number?
Oh boy, it's,
What's the area code?
it's,
So she took this with her, this is Yolanda's?
yeah, the one, two, we got one, we got 2 cells, but
Okay.
one we only give to our houses. This is like we use it for like a business phone. Because we got our own houses too, besides Scott, so
So there's another cell phone that you let
It's
other
at
people
home,
call? What's
yeah.
that number?
it's. What's it, so. I gotta give you,
It's okay. Now, this is a cell phone that's in
Yeah,
whose name?
it's Yolanda's, both the cell phone, it's from the cellular. I'm used from Verizon, you buy one, you get one free.
So these two are on both Verizon?
Yeah.
So was this at the home? You had this back, it wasn't in Canada, was it?
No, that was at home,
Okay, so she had this in Canada,
yes.
and then on this phone is the one you call Vince's. From the home phone or from the cell?
From the home phone,
Okay.
because you always use the home phone, because they get your number right in the,
So they call ID, they know it's you?
they know who you are and where your address is.
You ordered before, right?
Yeah.
No? Now, when you say home phone, that's like a landline, right?
Right.
Right.
Okay. But the other number I draw with blank, like,
All right, so you ordered dinner about 9:30 or 10. How long did it take Vince's to get it there?
it's pretty good, about 35, 40 minutes.
30 or what?
35, 40 minutes.
So what time do you eat dinner then about? 11, 11:30?
About 11:30.
Is that kind of late for you normally to be up, or you guys wake up so early?
No, I'm usually up about 7, 11.
Right.
I always never slept at much.
Okay. All right, then what time did you do outside? Did you go to bed? Did you stay up later?
I
Watch the
took the
TV?
dog straight downstairs, right in the front for a quick. I come up and I went to sleep, right in the sleep.
Okay, now, I think you talked about this a little bit before. Now when you guys, when you're working, you guys supply your own vehicle, right? You guys drive everything around yourself? I mean, you don't get any company car to the upstairs, downstairs. And what car is that you guys use?
It's a Chevy Venture.
Okay. So, what car is that?
Right.
Right. And that's the car that you'll want to drive when you're doing all your stuff?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, who owns that car?
You want to?
Okay, so you own this car. Do you own any cars?
You.
Okay. So is the Chevy Venture in your name, her name, both your name, or do you know?
Both names. I only get the insurance card in my name, the paper say.
So your name is on the insurance, so you're driving.
I'm allowed to drive it.
Okay, now, do you guys have any other vehicles?
Hmm?
Do you have any other vehicles that you own?
I got an old car. It's been going to use it.
Okay, an old car?
An old van. It's a 93.
Okay. What kind?
It's for emergency.
Okay, so you use it for emergencies?
In case the new one breaks.
So what is it, 93 what?
Plymouth white truck.
It's like a van?
Yeah, it's a van.
Is it like a work type van, or is it like a mini van?
It's a regular, like a mini
Person
van.
van,
Yeah.
like the other one?
Yeah.
What car is that?
It was-
You know the plate number on the Chevy Venture? Okay.
No,
How about the Voyage?
no.
Okay. No.
Good with that.
Where do you park the Venture? In the garage, on the street?
On the street.
Okay. Now how about the other vehicle? Where's that?
Usually we park it in the garage. In the winter time, we put both of them in, so.
Is it two-car garage?
Yeah.
Do you guys get the garage and people downstairs don't get the garage at all? Or they don't get a spot?
No, we paid for it.
We pay extra for the garage?
Yeah.
Where are the people on downstairs pay, park their cars on the street?
Yeah, the
On
street.
Chicago? Yeah. Okay. Now, the day, that Wednesday we're talking about, because you know the next day, Thursday, when you heard on the news, so you know what happened to Mr. Harris and Sarah was on the Wednesday. You understand, we're talking about that Wednesday, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you drive anywhere that day in your vehicle?
One day.
Okay. Did you take, you didn't drive anywhere Wednesday, you never left the house within the vehicle, in the car?
Monday. No, I didn't drive on Thursday. I was thinking.
No, I'm talking about Wednesday.
Oh,
The day
Wednesday.
before you went to the airport.
I took the door to the first get
You know, you know Wednesday, you know, didn't go to the park or anything, you just drove, walked. Okay. Now, there's no reason we would say on Wednesday, you drove your Chevy Venture anyway.
No,
Like your neighbors downstairs or next door, across the street or anything.
park right in the front.
Okay. Now, how about the Voyager? When's the last time you drove that?
I had to be about 3 months out, 4 months out.
That's the last time anybody drove it or last time you drove it?
I drove it, she don't drive it.
Oh, you should have driven around.
There's that little bad shakes to it. The last time she drove it was last year.
So a while ago for her. Okay. All right, so now you haven't driven that Voyager for 3 months.
Yeah.
You can take it out of the garage. He hasn't been out of the garage in 3 months?
No,
Okay. So none of the neighbors, no one's gonna say, yeah, I saw Russell take that vehicle out of the garage. I saw him driving a van that morning, that afternoon, leaving with the Voyager. You sure?
they shouldn't say that.
I should say that.
It's got stuff in it.
What's in it?
We do like the flea market thing. We sell all the Chinese stuff, the socks we got.
Oh, like you go down to, where
The
the
warehouses.
warehouses and they sell it.
And we get them cheap and then we sell it.
Where do you sell it?
That's the market.
Flea market? Now, this Voyager, does it got plates on
Yeah.
it? Where do you usually sell that kind of stuff at? Like, where would you sell that kind of junk? Or not junk, but stuff, where would you sell it to? then? Who do you sell it to? You buy it?
Got at the shop around on the Lake Street and Manhattan.
That's where you get it from, or is it
No,
where you
that's
sell
how
it?
it is. We sell it, even in the Rosemont variety.
Like the, big flea markets, they have,
that's
if
what
you
we
pay
do.
so much money, you have a little booth or something?
It's always on.
Okay.
Yeah, then, well,
So like, man, like, what is that,
No,
Park, Melrose Park?
No.
In Rosemont too?
mhm.
When was the last time you guys had a van out that you did that? Is there a bunch of stuff in the van now?
About 3 months ago. Yeah.
Packed with stuff, or?
Oh, yeah, all the way to the top to front to back.
Okay. All right.
That's one of the reasons we don't use it now, though, because otherwise I gotta take everything out and repack everything in. And it's a pain.
So now you use, mostly, you just use the Venture for work?
Venture for work unless it has to have work and they must keep it a few days and then they will take all this stuff out of it.
But you haven't done it for 3 months?
No longer than that. The venture's been good for a while. So.
Okay. So when you guys go do your cleaning stuff, like for upstairs, downstairs, like for instance, what's your typical day? What do you guys do? You have to go over to, more upstairs, downstairs, like where the office is, or do you go straight to where you gotta go?
Office is once every Monday.
Okay, every Monday, so you go to the office.
Office, but we have to be at the office by 7:30.
What do you guys do then?
We
At
just
the office?
pick up our schedule for the following week
Mhm.
and then pay for the houses what we cleaned the week before.
Do you guys hang on to a check, do you hang on to a checks, or what do they, how do you pay them? You pay them then?
We
Like
pay
you
them.
said you get a check.
We get checks. We get checks and then we pay them with the checks what we get for the houses.
Mhm. So like say during the last week you picked up 10 checks or whatever,
We
do
use
people would write the check to upstairs, downstairs?
all along them, and some for upstairs, downstairs.
Mhm.
Some would want it there, like they write business checks, some people,
Mhm.
and they write it for upstairs, downstairs, I guess where they can collect it on their taxes or whatever, put it on
Okay.
their taxes. Most of the checks are made out to Alonzo.
Oh, really? And then how do you guys give the money, how much money do you guys pass on to,
God, it's
upstairs, downstairs?
just got it.
anywhere from 80 to 140
For the week or for the,
for the week.
okay, so it's like a certain amount for each one, or
It's $12 a house, whatever we do.
that's what they get?
Yeah,
That's all? Okay.
that's all, we got it. 1,800 houses.
Really? So he makes a pretty good, business, huh?
And then every once a month is more money we gotta pay because we pay for insurance.
What kind of insurance, you mean like,
Breakage,
okay.
something stolen, broken.
How much does insurance cost you?
$48.
How much?
48.
40 a month?
48 a month. So 24 person.
Do you know a lot of the other cleaning The other crews, other people, other teams?
Usually I'll work in pairs.
Mm-hmm.
We haven't worked in a group of 4 for probably 3 years.
So you don't really know too many of them, you just kind of keep to yourselves?
Yeah, no. Or there are different times in the office, it usually never is.
More than one or two?
One or two, I always get it 2 or more. His wife takes care of one and she takes care of the other. You don't really like people talking to each other.
So then, you come there Monday, you get your schedule for the following week, you pay for the week before,
Mhm.
and then when you go to schedule, you start cleaning the houses. You go out to their houses?
Wait till after 7:30, our first house is usually 8 o'clock
Okay.
or 8:30. Usually houses times, they vary. Some houses we start at 8 and finish 11:30.
Okay. Now, you said you do about 2 a day?
to a day. But we're doing every day. We want 3 for them.
Uh-huh.
But then we start picking up our own houses to cut.
Now, do they supply you with anything? Does the SCAT supply you with your
No.
cleaning supplies?
Nothing.
Who normally, do you guys gotta supply yourselves, or do the people at the house supply stuff, or what?
No, we buy our own stuff, but some of the houses tell you under the kitchen sink, there's supplies if you need it, we run out of something, so. But not many houses.
Now, we're specifically talking about the Harrises now. We're trying to obviously figure some things out after we've been into the house. Do you, you said you supply your own stuff.
Mhm.
Now, what type of cleaning do you do at the Harrises? Because obviously it looks like it's kind of a cluttered mess over there.
Bathrooms, kitchen, dust everywhere. We dust the papers, the tops, the papers you wanted. Sometimes you touch them, everything would fall over, you have to pick it up and throw it back up to the needles.
And what type of cleaning supplies do you guys use? Any particular brand or anything?
Yeah.
Like, what are normally things you need to have with you, like Comet or spray stuff? Is it
I use Clorox cleanup,
Okay.
COR, Lime Away, Windex, what is it, Mr. Clean, Spick and Span.
Mm-hmm. You guys,
That's in my book, and Wanda's got it in dust and
she got what?
in dust for dusting,
Mhm.
like Windex and Pledge and a few other stuff for wood and stuff.
So does she generally do certain things in the house, and you generally do certain things, or you guys kind of mix them up?
She usually does the dusting and the
Vacuum,
kitchen.
you vacuum, sweep?
Oh, I
stuff like
vacuum,
that?
I do most all the, especially,
The hard work?
she's a little slow, and
Okay.
that's the reason I started working with her. We've been together, she said she
Slow
couldn't.
working?
Yeah, and she
Fucking
can't
around?
really, so
Okay,
I do most of the stuff.
okay. Now, when you clean, like you clean the bathrooms and stuff, does that stuff get over your hands? I mean, you got, you know what I mean? Do you guys, a lot of times, some people want to, like, you clean the bathroom, you use gloves. Do you use gloves
Yeah,
when you do
I
that?
use gloves.
Okay. What kind of gloves, like
The regular rubber.
the latex ones?
Yeah, that's throw away.
No. Do you use any particular brand? Did you get them any particular place?
Walmart, we buy them. We usually buy all of our stuff from Walmart, cleaning stuff, everything, because it's cheap.
Now, when you buy the gloves and all that other cleaning stuff, you buy at Walmart, do you buy like the gloves in the bags, you buy a box full, or do you go to Sam's Club? I mean,
Boxes.
what kind of gloves? Now, do you do that at every house, use gloves?
Yeah.
Okay, so like all the time when you're cleaning, you're using gloves, or just like when you're doing the bathroom or the
Mostly
kitchen?
the bathroom, the
Because of
kitchens.
the
and-
dirt,
Yeah,
kind of dirt,
yeah.
bacteria and stuff? Okay, what color are those gloves usually?
Yeah, those are always like.
Like tan?
Yeah,
Like
regular-
like the beige or
like-
tan?
Like the regular gloves with the paramedics and stuff, where they're colored with white, beige, or.
Yeah, like beige, I guess. Do they get the powder inside them, or, you know, sometimes they get the
Some
powder?
got them, some don't.
So did you use gloves, when you would clean the Harris's? Or is that every house pretty much?
Every house in the bathroom. We got toilets and stuff. We wore them gloves. Sometimes on the floors too.
Okay, now, how would you, now when you would bring the stuff over to the house, like say you go to the Harris's, you guys would come over there, did you just keep it in a bucket, in a bag, did you just keep it in a box? How did you bring your supplies in?
We got it in the regular, we got it in a cleaning bucket, rags and stuff, and gloves in a plastic bag.
So you bring your.
We got it 2 buckets and a big plastic bag and a bucket for water, 2 big dusters.
You said, what would you have in a plastic bag?
Rags and gloves.
So then, what kind of bag are you talking about? Like a little jewel bag or a big white kitchen bag, a big black bag, or what do you kind of bag?
It's like a blue bag. We usually try to get something that is heavy because the rags go through,
Oh,
because we got a squeegee in there too. We got 2 squeegees I keep in there to poke a hole in the regular plastic bags.
So what kind of gloves, or what kind of bags you use when you brought your stuff over to Harris's? Did you always use the same bag, or did you?
Oh yeah, same bag.
Same bag.
Same bag we carry every.
So where would that bag be right now?
In the car.
Oh, in the van, the Chevy van?
Mhm.
Okay. So what kind of, okay, so then you clean
Check
the
the name
house.
on the bag. I don't know what it is. It's this bag from the store, but it's heavy, thick.
You know what kind of store? No store or something?
I don't know what the name
Is it like a bag you bought out of a box, or a bag you got from some other, like, store where you bought some other stuff and you just, it's a heavy bag, use it?
Yeah, something like that.
Now, so when you guys clean up, now I know I've had my house cleaned once or twice, but I don't have the money to be able to do it. But do you, do you take the garbage out? Do you do any of that kind of stuff? Or, you know what I mean? Like when you're finished cleaning, do you guys empty the garbage cans? Do you clean the bathrooms, clean the kitchens, right?
Yeah, the garbage we empty. If they want us to empty the garbage, we empty it.
Now with the Harris's, would you normally empty the garbage?
Yeah.
Okay, how many garbages would you empty? Every one of them? The bathroom, the kitchen, all of them?
Every garbage can.
Now would you go around and dump them all in a big can, or how would you do that?
In bags, plastic bags, because they usually got it. Everywhere is a garbage can. You got one for the recycling, one for garbage. Everywhere upstairs, in the bedroom, the bathrooms, every bedroom got it. It's recycling cans.
So you empty all the bags?
Bags in the white plastic bags.
What's that?
Empty it in, in the big plastic bags. And
Into the bags?
Yeah, and then take out.
Okay.
Sometimes she make us empty the plastic bag into the big garbage can because she didn't want to use the bag.
Oh, you mean have you dump out the bag?
I don't, but I put it in a bag because it's easier to carry, so. And then she'd see the bag and want me to dump it in the can. The recycling bin.
Okay. So then, where do they keep their big bin, or where their garbage, their big main garbage cans? Would it be outside, in the garage?
Outside, the recycling bin was in the backyard, either in the front or in the garage.
And where's a big can, like, do they have the dumpster? Do they have one of those?
Only the 2 little silver ones in the front.
The outside the house or in the garage?
Outside the house, regular garbage.
Yeah.
And the recycling was either in the backyard or in the front of the house or in the garage.
Mhm.
We had to look for where they kept it that day, so.
And then, like, say for instance, you clean up, what would be the last thing you would do before you left? Take the garbage out, or that would be you do that at any time? That's all you would do.
Usually garbage, if I got it all together, I could throw it out. So, and then the last thing what we did was wash the floors.
Oh, that's the last thing you used to do, wash the floors.
Yeah.
Okay, now when you wash the floors, you use gloves there?
Yeah.
Okay, what, the same kind of gloves?
Same kind, I got a big
heavy ones.
Yeah, like they
Use
would,
for oven or something.
like they would use in the kitchen, women.
Right,
Do
you
they
can
get
hang
these-
some dishwasher dishes and
Yeah, I
stuff.
get the big pair of those.
And then, would you reuse these gloves? I mean, or would you throw them away every time? I mean, you guys
No,
go
no,
through a lot of them,
The
or?
green ones, no, but the regular gloves, every house, sometimes 2 pair, you'd be using 3 pair. I clean one toilet, I'm not gonna wear the same gloves and start doing something else in the
Right.
house, so. You got my group in there too?
No. No, well, we're talking to her, but we just talked, they're talking to her over at Buffalo Grove.
Oh, you took her?
Yeah, we brought her to Buffalo Grove, because it's cool, it's not too far, now it's a little further. So you would use the new
Put
gloves
her
every
in cups too?
What's that? No, we just, well, she's a female, so we have a female at a transporter with her. So you use new gloves every time, if you were like going from the bathroom to something else, you would change your gloves, what would you do with those gloves? Would you guys take them with you in your car, in your van, or would you throw them in the garbage, or at the house, or
Everything in the garbage.
at the garbage in the
Yeah.
house?
Mm.
And then, once you left, you take the garbage with you, or you throw the garbage out in a can?
No, they're garbage.
That's what I mean, they're garbage cans.
Yeah,
Okay.
even sometimes some rags will be, when I use in the bathroom, I throw out the garbage.
Do you know how often, they get their garbage taken out? You have any idea? Like, I mean,
I never seen the garbage.
it's never piled up or nothing, though.
No. Sometimes they recycle. They forgot
They didn't bring it out.
They forgot to take it out.
But, for the garbage, so they put it regular, like,
The garbage.
metal cans?
Little metal cans, they
Yes.
did, yeah.
Now, the last time you guys were there, the last time you cleaned, it was you and Yolanda, right?
Well,
Okay, and did you use gloves that time?
yeah,
Okay. Did you throw your gloves out?
yeah,
Okay, now where was you throwing them? Where was you throwing them?
in plastic bag.
In a plastic bag?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. And you be there about from what time, 8 to 10:30?
8 to 10, 10 o'clock, he was there and she left because he knew the house was a mess, and he told us, okay, you guys finish, go. But she was there about 15 after 20 after, so.
Okay. So then tell me, you said the last time you were there was like a week or a week, 2 weeks before it happened? Week before this happened? About a week and a few days, 2 weeks?
Yeah, almost 2 weeks.
So we can have.
Well, I don't know,
Was
it's
it
been
Thursday?
back, if I had my schedule, I'd be telling you, but
Okay.
just by memory, no, I can't figure it out, so.
Okay, have you ever been in the house other than clean? Like, I mean, did you ever stop by, have to get a check because they didn't have the check or something like that, or nobody was home? Were they always home when you cleaned?
Yeah,
Okay.
and she'd go to work sometimes, and sometimes he'd run out. The mechanic would come and pick him up, and they'd be driving back and forth. He had a mechanic, he'd be leaving, come back.
Mechanic, when
Boy worked on the cars, he had some fighting,
so you come down, how often did that happen?
They had 3 cars, and always was something with the cars. Must have been that far because he was always back in like 10 minutes. He'd drive the car there, and then the mechanic would bring him back.
So you never went over there during the day, later in the afternoon? Have Have you ever been over to the house by yourself?
No.
Have you ever been over there when just, either Sarah was his home?
No.
How much did you, how well did you know Sarah?
I didn't know.
You didn't know her at all?
Well, I knew her from.
Did you ever talk to her?
How long
You know what I'm saying?
apart?
Did you ever have a sit-down conversation with her? Did she
No.
ever offer you anything to eat or drink?
No.
How did she see me?
How long go by and upstairs when she was sleeping, because most of the time she was in school.
Mhm.
Then when she was working, she'd hello, talk to the parents, and then she'd leave.
In the
But
morning?
she seemed like a nice person.
How about, I think it is
Always
before.
grumpy towards the parents.
She was,
Okay.
what type, did you ever see her, did you ever have any boyfriends over or anything like that? Or?
I heard her talking about someone before. Yeah, I think I told you that.
I don't know, what was that? How far-
Something about, did you give him the code to the garage or something? I don't know.
Like an argument type thing, or just talking?
Argument thing.
Okay. Did you guys ever use the code for the garage to get into it?
No.
Do you know what the code number is?
Mhm.
Okay, you ever written down anywhere?
I don't know if it's on the schedule, what we get from him, but we never used it because they're always there.
So then.
I don't even think it worked because one time a few times they didn't answer the doorbell. We rang the doorbell. They called the office and they called them and I guess they were sleeping. They couldn't have opened the door.
Okay. Now, on the day that this happened, I think you said that Wednesday, which was the day before Yolanda came home, is there anybody, like any person that can tell me, like, where you were between noon and 8 o'clock at night, say? I can say, yeah, I saw him, I was talking to him between these hours.
Just like what I said, like 5 o'clock, 4:30, 5 o'clock, the kids downstairs.
They saw you, they talked to you?
Yeah, I was spraying the dog and they asked if they could pet him. I said no because you know, he's not a dog for people, only for us.
Mhm. Now, how old are the kids downstairs?
He's about 7 to 10. We had a 2. She was there too, but I seen her between the trees there. I think she was
Out there, or?
She was there.
I mean, you saw them between the trees. Like,
They've got those trees
in the back?
in the yard,
Or the
yeah.
front? So
No.
you spray them in the front or you spray them in the back?
In the backyard, there's a swimming pool.
Oh.
There's a swimming pool around the trees there.
So you're talking about the lady that was downstairs.
Mm-hmm.
Is she married? Her husband?
She was a husband.
Was he around?
I don't know that. I'm not sure if I talked to the people in the next sheriff too.
I don't know.
I think he was out there barbecuing.
Anybody else that
No.
could say?
No, just the people that's normal see me walking down the street with my dog. One guy, a few houses away, always waves to me. He's always out in the yard.
Okay.
And we got no, I think I said I went to the liquor store. I don't know how often they change their video cameras because you see yourself everywhere on the video camera. So they
What
got
do you mean, where, on the liquor store?
the liquor store I went 2 times.
Okay, so you went there about what time again?
It was about 4:30 and about 7:30, 8 o'clock.
So you went there at 4:30?
Yeah.
7:30 or 8 o'clock?
Mhm. They got the video cameras there.
Okay. So that was the first time you went over, was 4:30?
4:30, I don't remember what time.
Pretty sure you told me 11 o'clock
Yeah,
or
it
something.
was around 11 in the morning.
4:30, 11,
Yeah, I
that's a
know,
big difference.
no, it's 11 then.
Okay. So you understand why, I mean, do you understand,
I
Russell,
know.
why we brought you down here today?
I know, you think I had something to do with this probably.
Okay. Why do you think I would think that?
Hmm?
Why do you think I would think that? And why would I think that you had something to do with this? That's all I'm asking.
If you probably found fingerprints or something, my fingerprints are all over the house.
Okay.
So was Alanda's.
Okay, so you think if we got the fingerprints off the house, that we would believe it would be you? But you have a reason to have your fingerprints there,
Yeah,
right?
I know.
Okay, but the last time you were there was 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, about 2 weeks before.
2 weeks before it happened. Okay, so would you believe, let's see, you put yourself in my shoes, if you saw your fingerprints all over this place, would you think you had something to do with it? If you were me?
If I was a
If you're a cop,
yeah,
right.
I would say, yeah,
Okay.
I would believe.
So you would wanna know why your fingerprints are all over the house, and what would you tell me?
I cleaned there for 5 years.
So they should be.
They should be there.
Okay, well, let me ask you a question. Now, do you understand stuff about evidence? I mean, you know fingerprints. You understand what fingerprints, right? Because you said fingerprints, right?
Yeah, it's fingerprint.
Okay, so if you put your hand on this table or on that cup, or you touch a counter or a glass, your fingerprints are on
Yeah.
there, correct?
Mhm.
Okay, so normally, your fingerprints might be somewhere in that house, right?
Yeah,
Okay, now, but you understand that once something like this happens, there's certain things that disturb, there's certain things that happen from the crime scene, right? I mean, do you know how they were killed?
yeah, Scott told me. Scott told me.
What do you
And,
think?
he said they were beaten.
Okay. What else did he say?
Hmm?
What else?
Beaten instead.
Okay. When did he tell you that?
Monday. And I read, on the news, they said they were beaten. They didn't say nothing about Sedelmaier.
Okay. And then was it saying?
Mm.
Okay, so you understand they were beaten, and you said now you heard they were stabbed.
Scott told me Monday. He
God
said,
told you Monday.
our boss,
Uh-huh.
he said he checked, remember what I told, he said he checked the website, he told us what happened.
Okay. So obviously if your fingerprints are someplace normal, like on a cupboard or maybe in something that you might have been cleaning, maybe you use some of their cleaning stuff, like whatever it might be in there, okay? But then obviously something happened to them, right? Now they're beaten and they're stabbed, you said. So what would be all over the house? Or what would be around them? If you're beaten and stabbed, what would you see? What do you think you would see?
Beaten instead, there was blood everywhere.
There'd be blood everywhere, right? Okay, so on that blood, there might be other things, right?
Yeah,
Like fingerprints. Like on the blood, right? Is that possible? I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, let me say, if you
well,
cut your,
I don't know evidence.
I'm gonna try to help you understand a little bit, just to make sure. Let's say you cut yourself,
Mhm.
okay, and you got a pretty good cut.
Yeah,
And you cut over a table or over like a coffee table or something. And then when Yolanda was cleaning up your mess or cleaning up stuff, or maybe like, oh my God, you put your hand in that blood, right? Maybe you put your hand down in the spot of that blood,
Mhm.
your fingerprint could be in that blood. Do you understand that what I'm telling you is they could find your
Yeah.
fingerprint in that blood, it would
Mhm.
dry up, and then the fingerprint would be on the blood. Okay. Now, if that was the case, that fingerprint could not get on that blood before the fingerprint got there, you know what I mean? Like the blood had to be there, and then the fingerprint goes on the blood, right?
okay.
So if your fingerprints
Mhm.
touch on the blood, that would have to mean that you would have to be there after the blood got there.
Okay,
Okay.
I understand.
Now, besides fingerprints, do you understand, do you know anything about any other kind of evidence?
No,
Okay. Have you ever heard of DNA?
DNA, I don't know.
Okay, what do you know about DNA?
DNA is, I don't know, my saliva or whatever it is.
So DNA is in like everything of you, of me. Every person has a particular DNA, right?
Mhm.
Like my DNA cannot be the same as your DNA, okay? Your DNA, my DNA is in my hair, it's in my skin, it's in my saliva, okay? It's in my fingernails. If a little bit of my skin falls off, a couple of my hairs, we lose about 100 hairs a day. Everybody, just little pieces of hair all over. And that's like we leave some of us back everywhere we go. We leave something, you know what I mean? And we take something with us,
Right.
okay? So, but then again, now when we have something like a crime scene, when something happens to people like that, everything is frozen,
Mhm.
like the way it is. You know what I mean? We come upon something, everything is frozen. It's photographed, it's collected,
Mhm.
you know what I mean? So they collect DNA, they collect fingerprint evidence, all that type of thing. So you think, obviously, you said that the reason I'm talking is probably because of your fingerprints are all over the place. You think your DNA would be there?
Sure, it probably would be loose hair or something then.
Okay, how about any other kind of fingerprints or DNA?
Hair, I don't know what else would do.
Well, what would you say if your fingerprint is in the blood? How would you respond to that?
I'd say it's impossible,
You'd say it was impossible?
because I wasn't there.
Okay, so what if I was to tell you, okay, Russell, they call you Russell or Russ?
Russell.
Russell, what if I was to tell you, hey, listen, we went and we searched that entire house,
Mhm.
okay? Your fingerprints are there in a little bit of smudge of blood. So which would mean your fingerprint had to get there after the bug got there. Now,
Right.
you didn't go to the house afterwards and try to clean up like
No.
for Mrs. Harris or anything, right?
Right.
So what would that tell you? What would conclusion would you come to, Russell?
That I was there and then.
That you had something to do with it, right?
Yeah.
So
I
if you
didn't.
come to that conclusion, how can I not come to that conclusion?
I don't know. Did you hear what you got my fingerprints in the blood? Mhm.
Because here's the thing, Russell. I've been doing this a long time.
Mhm.
Okay, been a detective 15 years. I've been working on this Lake County Major Crime Task Force 10 years. That means Lake County Major Crime Task Force, all we handle is all the homicides for Lake County. Okay, I'm an investigator there. That's all I do. Okay, I look at crime scene. I talk to people. I'm an investigator, right? I talk to people all the time. I look at about how things have happened. You know, we talked to you the first time.
Mhm.
Much different, right? We just want to kind of get an idea, blah, 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 where you were there, when you were there, and that type of thing. Okay, as we're working, in the background, we're working on the rest of our case. Okay, we're looking at, well, who had a possible access to the house? Who could have got there? Obviously, you know where the house is, you know the people, you got some connection to the house, right? Now we look at, the evidence, the physical evidence. I mean, most cases, okay, can be won by physical evidence alone. I mean, a guy in the street, can see a guy who looks kind of dark hair, whatever he describes him, but, people are human, they can make a mistake, so. Okay, but now, you add that, let's just say someone sees you coming into the house on that day, and they're pretty sure it's you, that's pretty good, okay? Then they add that to you have no alibi, okay, no one can say, hey, Russell was here with me at that time. I mean, you didn't even tell me you made any phone calls. Didn't talk to a soul that day except for your dog. You said the only people that can maybe vouch for you are some kids downstairs that saw you, water the dog for a few minutes.
My whole life has been like that.
Okay. But so now we have someone seeing you go into the house. Okay, then you have no alibi. You have a connection to the house, to the people. Okay, now we have physical evidence, irrefutable physical evidence. Now let me tell you something. If I drink a beer and I leave it on your table at your house, and that thing sits there for a week, 2 weeks,
Mhm.
and that beer just sits there. 2 weeks later, somebody can pick that up, they get tested for DNA, right where I was drinking, maybe inside there might be a little backwash, even if it's dried up, they can put a little warm moisture in there, and they can pull that DNA back, and they can tell me, hey, irrefutable, in a court of law, you were drinking that beer. That beer has your DNA in it. So there's no way I could not say I was not at Russell's house. I couldn't say anything. That alone is enough to say, gotta be the guy. Gotta be the guy. So I put all this stuff together. And I'm not so much looking at Russell as like, Russell, this or that, what happened, tell us what happened, tell us if you did it or not. It's not so much that. At this point, we bring you down, we have Yolanda, okay, we're looking in your apartment, obviously you got a search warrant for your apartment. Okay, you maybe know that, maybe you guess that. The van, the same thing with the blue van, the same thing with the Chevy Venture. We're gonna do the whole job, the whole 9 yards. I mean, it's a very, this is something that happened, Mr. Harris, Sarah Harris, a young girl, started her life. To me, there's gotta be a reason. I look at you, I'm sitting across in the room here. I see, just like when I met you the first time, I see a guy 40-something years old, okay? He's working with his girlfriend. You don't have any relatives, you got no friends, you know what I mean? You got your thing, you got your dog, you got your cub name, your beer, your cigarettes. What more in life do you need? What do you need in life from the Harrises? So that's my question, why? And you know why I ask you why? Because I want to do my job completely. I don't want to do just part of it. It'd be one thing just to say you did it, and we're gonna send him down the river. You know, we're gonna set him up on charges, we're gonna make him look like a monster, a murderer, everything else in the papers. We're gonna tear his life apart, we're gonna charge Yolanda, we're gonna say she had conspired something to do with it, we're gonna do all this. We can do that. But that's not, see, I gotta go home at night, I gotta look myself in the mirror. Because to me, I'm a human just like you. My life and your life, we're a year apart in age. We could be the same. I grew up in Chicago. I had a real rough childhood, you know, growing up, teenager. Luckily, I was able to get out. Things different. So, but I see you, I see a regular guy. So I ask myself, why? There's gotta be a reason why. And the reason why is important is because it's like, well, why, Russell? What's the point? Why would you do something like this? Why would you be involved in something like this? And I tell myself, there's gotta be some reason. There's gotta be something else behind it. Somebody else behind it. Do you want Russell Sedelmaier to be the big monster, you know, murderer, kill these two people just because he's some, you know, savage killer, serial killer or something? There's always some more to it. There's always some angle, you know? There's gotta be more to you than that. I don't believe that it's just, this is the type of person you are. Do you understand, Russell?
Yeah.
So if I have this physical evidence, I gotta ask you, Russell, I gotta say, well, what happened?
Well, if you got all this evidence, you wanna charge me or give me a lawyer, then I don't know what to do.
Well, I understand, but here's what I'm
I
saying.
said, if you got
But Russell,
evidence, that's it.
Russell, let me ask you a question.
I'm not talking.
There's gotta be some kind of explanation, right?
I
How could it be there?
No.
Well, that's what
Well,
I gotta figure out together.
I don't know how it's there.
Well, that's what I wanna figure out together, Russell. It's you and me
Let's
here,
see.
it's only me and
Said you got
you.
all that evidence.
That's all we're talking about. So how could it be there?
Can I get a
Did it
lawyer?
happen or not? That's all I'm asking you, Russell.
I wasn't there.
Okay, you weren't there.
No.
Well, that's what we gotta get on paper. That's what we gotta figure out. You weren't there. So who could see you that said you weren't there? You know what I'm saying? Who
Well,
could tell
I
us,
don't
how
have
do we
it.
do that?
I don't have it life like everybody going to
I
the bar and
understand.
stuff. I'm only, that's probably why Alonda likes me so much. I'm
Okay.
always at home.
All right.
I
Now-
got rid of my friends because they were drinking too much and I got the DUI and that's it. I'm a
So just you and
person-
Yolanda, you got your dog and your cat.
Yeah, and I'm happy with
Happy
that.
with that.
Yeah, I come home, I drink my six-pack, smoke my cigarettes, and she's always telling me, what you love is sports more than me. I'm always in front of the TV watching either baseball or now they got it at poker I love to watch.
What, they're hold'em,
Yeah,
poker?
I'm always watching sports on TV.
So tell me, I mean, is it possible this stuff is there? Or is it, you know what I
What
mean?
stuff?
Any kind of evidence, is it possible? That's what I'm asking.
No,
It's not
No.
possible.
no,
Okay. Do you think the convenience store has video cameras that would show you being in the store?
do they got video
Yes, I'm
cameras?
asking.
Sure, you walk in, you're on TV.
Okay,
They got a, 27-inch TV there.
I understand. Okay, because here's what you gotta understand, Russell. I'm not here to railroad you. And I'm not saying, hey, we're lining up the charges, we're arresting you or anything right now. I gotta figure this out. It's, you know, it's still an investigation at this point, but I gotta figure it out. Now you say, I can't, you know, whatever, you got this, you got that. But what I need you to do is continue to cooperate with me, you know what I mean? Because if you say, hey, I didn't do it, I wasn't there, the only way I can get that and we can figure out what happened is with your cooperation. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to get you to send yourself down the river or anything else like that, but I need you to cooperate so you can understand. You say you weren't there, you say there's gotta be some explanation. Do you know what I mean? Is it possible, let me ask you a question, is it possible, you took gloves off and stuff, you wear gloves when you clean?
Yeah.
So if you wear gloves when you clean, is there certain places that your prints would be and wouldn't be? Is there certain, like, habits you have when you're in there? You know what I mean? Like, is there certain things you kind of like do on a routine? If I go, certain things, you people do, they get in a routine. Okay, I'm gonna go this upstairs, I'm gonna do the bathroom up here, then I'm gonna go down here, I'm gonna finish this, I'm gonna throw this out, I'm gonna grab the garbage can,
There's
throw it in
never,
there. That's what I'm kind of getting.
that house is never the same.
Really?
One time you start in this room, and then up there, and then that.
So why is it? Is it because of where they are?
They're
or
al-
because
they're
of their
always
stuff?
there.
Oh, they're always there.
Yeah.
So if you had an empty house, you could just go boom, 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 we're gonna do it the way we want to
Yeah, we
do
do
it.
routine, we start in the top, go down to the bottom,
Okay. Now, why would that change with that?
because they're there, one's in that bathroom, maybe she's sleeping in the other room, he's sitting in the office and asleep.
Okay.
So start downstairs, 5 minutes there, and then we go upstairs. But when they're all ready, and they're all downstairs or something, we start from the main bedroom and go that way towards the office, and then go down the stairs.
Okay.
So
So it just depends on what they're doing, if
Yeah,
they're
what they're
sleeping or
doing.
where they're at.
where they're at.
Okay, I mean, let me ask you a question. You ever have anybody else over there at the house?
Us?
Yeah, like anybody else.
Mhm.
Remember I asked you, have you ever have like a cousin or her have anybody or any other cleaners? Let me ask you a question. Has other workers from upstairs, downstairs, other people have they covered for you ever? You know what I mean? Like, yeah, in that place. Did you know?
Not lately, no.
How many times have you missed in the last, like you took vacation this
Oh, yeah.
summer, but how many times do you think a week or a year? Maybe you took vacation this last year.
Last year, and then we missed some days because we just wanted a day off. So we wanted 3-day weekends, so we usually take Monday off.
Okay. But nobody has ever covered recently?
Recently, no.
Like, is normally people vacation with upstairs with Scott send somebody else?
If he sent
Or
someone,
call.
if he sent someone, he'd always call them first and ask them if they want somebody else. And I couldn't really tell you if he sent them someone or not.
Okay, let me ask you one more question, and this is just to kind of get an idea, because I'm not gonna make something up about what's in your house or what's in your van or anything else, because I'll be honest with you, I just left with you, we drove back here, so I have no idea what they got. If there's anything, maybe there's nothing in your house, maybe there's nothing in the van at all, you know what I mean? Maybe there's no evidence at all. Is there gonna be anything, is there any reason to be anything like, from the Harris's house that would be in your house? Anything that they may have given you gifts or anything? Now you said for Christmas they would give you cookies or something, Mrs. Harris gifts. They ever give you any kind of like gifts, like knickknacks or any crap like that, Never? Were they pretty generous people, or were they kind of
Yeah.
like, they were okay,
Always.
regular nice people?
Mhm.
So nothing should be, as far as like from their house, should be over in their house, your house?
I think the only thing which she gave Wanda was a big thing of shampoo, but she don't use it. She gave to Wanda this.
Like a fancy thing, or just like?
No, a big bottle that, I don't know what kind it is, Finesse shampoo, that she gave to Wanda, I think it was 2 months ago.
That's the only thing about it.
It's in our bathroom
Okay. And there's no reason, like I said, there's no reason anything, is there any reason that anything, that you'd be worried about anything being in your house?
now. It's in our house, it's ours.
Okay. All right.
That's it.
Now, is there any reason that anything would be in the van, the blue van, that you'd be worried about?
No.
So basically, as far as you're concerned, we could search the house, search the vans, we ain't gonna find nothing.
Take the walls apart if you want. We only got nothing from there,
Okay.
from their house.
And I'm just trying to be straight with you. I'm not making up any games, I'm not trying to play games or tricks, or I'm not gonna yell at you, threaten you. I'll get you something to drink, eat, I'm getting kinda thirsty myself, I'm talking so much. But, so you shouldn't have any problem, nothing with Yolanda. Now, the other investigator's gonna talk to Yolanda. Obviously gonna ask you probably the same things as, now Yolanda went to camp. So she wasn't even in the country when this happened, right?
Right.
And she probably got tickets, plane tickets to show that she left and came back.
No, if you call the airline.
Right. But she might have a stub or something like that, or maybe the things did she have luggage, check luggage?
Yeah,
or-
she brought me stuff from Canada, the ashtray, this, that.
So she was definitely in Canada during that time,
We
so,
got 50 people at the wedding, so
yeah, so she's covered. And did you talk to Yolanda at all about this? About anything, about like afterwards when you found out about what you saw in the news and stuff?
Thursday, how she come back, I told her.
Okay, was she upset or
She was shocked, she don't believe me.
But now once she knows, how is she taking it?
Don't believe it still. She even got sick.
I mean, could you come up with any kind of reason you think somebody would do something like this?
Mhm.
Not at all?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. One other
They
thing.
were always nice to me, nice to
Nice to
her.
both of you guys. Just regular people. Now you said how many houses you guys do? How many people do you know that you've done like as many years as like the Harrises? A lot?
How many houses?
Well, how many people do you know like that you've had longtime customers, 5-6 years, like that?
Almost every house was we got.
You guys got a pretty good reputation.
Yeah.
Have you ever had complaints for stealing? Anybody ever accuse you? I mean, even falsely, you know, people get weird and they think they misplaced something, they say, ah, must be they blame you guys.
One said they were missing $50, and the Georgina and Scott said it was the children,
No,
so.
where was that at? Which house was that?
Hmm?
Where was it? Who were those people? Do you remember the names?
How long ago it was?
It was about 4 months ago, 5 months ago.
Okay. You know who they are?
It's Scott, I'm not sure.
But they called Scott or something, said $50 was missing?
Yeah, they wanted to change group.
Okay. So any others besides that?
No, I know.
Okay. Pretty much everyone's been, like, Yolanda and Russell, no problems, no complaints.
6 years, we still doing a lot of the houses with the,
See, because I gotta get a picture of you, that's what I'm trying to do, get a little better picture, and I appreciate, you know, I appreciate your cooperation, I understand how you feel, you're like, oh, you know, you get upset. Nice me to do my job, because obviously, you know, we gotta figure out what's going on, okay? So, you know, I'm sure, like you said,
how long
there's
we
nothing
gonna,
in the
how long
house.
we gonna be here? We gonna be able to go to work tomorrow? Or?
Yeah, well, we have to, we'll, you know, here's what I'm gonna do. You want something else to drink? Would you like a soda or something? Give me a few minutes, I need a soda. You know, like you said, you got nothing to worry about. If nothing's over at the house, Yolanda
Are
doesn't
they
know anything.
searching our house, everything?
Well, do you have any problem with that?
No.
Okay. You said we take the walls apart, right?
Yeah, but it's what people think around the neighborhood, we just moved in there.
Well, maybe you know, mistake, you know, mistakes, you tell people whatever, what is it better than? You know, everybody's mind their own business that you call it. We'll try to, you know, we'll try to get this thing going as quickly as we can. But, you know, the biggest thing is that, you know, we gotta get a picture of you, get a picture of what's going on here, and go from there, okay? So give me a few minutes, you want a soda?
Just some water.
Just some more water?
Coffee,
Yeah, we'll probably get coffee, what do you take?
just boil.
Black? Okay, I'm gonna, just go get you some coffee. Alright, we're gonna call it.
Somebody took, where's my animals at?
Oh, they're fine, they're gonna take care of you, they're okay at the house, right? They took them out, go to the bathroom, give me a couple minutes, let me see if we're gonna talk. Okay. Alright, other investigators are talking to Yolanda, okay? So we're gonna try to go through some things with her, see how we can get through this stuff. So where are we at?
Hmm?
Where are we at? No, like I said, we talked about how this, all our investigations going, everything else, right? How the case is going. I could talk about evidence. Now, maybe you think there is none evidence, right? Maybe you think, there's no evidence, there's nothing to show now. You said that you heard on the news that, you know, they were stabbed, they were beat, you know.
No, I heard on the news they were beaten.
Okay. How'd you know they were stabbed?
Scott told me.
Scott told you they were stabbed?
And he said they got a problem with some boyfriend, I guess. I guess, I don't know where he got it, from a website or something. She had a problem with a boyfriend.
Okay. Well, here's what I want you to do. I want you to listen to me, okay? Kind of listen to what I got to say, okay? Pay real close attention. Like I said, we've been doing this for a long time. All right? We'll investigate this case. We got 30 investigators, 20 evidence technicians. We swarm down in the house. We talk to everybody. We pick up all the evidence we can. We talk to witnesses, neighbors, everything. And we kind of get a picture about what happened. Okay? Here's the picture we got happening. Okay? We know, all right? Just listen. We know that Sarah went into the house at a certain time. Okay? Into the house. We know she wasn't heard from after that time. We know Mr. Harris came home much later after that, and he wasn't heard from until he was found. All right? We have neighbors that saw your van, identify your van during that day on the street, on Saxon Place. Okay, the blue van, the Voyager. Okay, we got neighbors in Chicago that said they see you with that van a couple times a week. But
Yeah,
you,
that's
but you
a
tell,
possibility.
no, but you tell me,
It's a
but you tell me that you never drive it, you haven't driven it for 3 months. Okay, so we know when Mr. Harris came home, we know when Sarah came home. Okay, the house has got a mountain full of evidence. Now you think maybe it's not there. Maybe you wore gloves. Maybe there was no fingerprints. Maybe DNA is all bullshit, okay? You smoke liquid cigarettes, okay? There was numerous liquid cigarettes in the house. If I smoke a liquid cigarette, okay, I smoke any cigarette, my saliva's on a cigarette, that's my DNA. I guarantee you, I doubt, when Mr. Harris, Mrs. Harris, or Sarah, or anybody was home, and you were over there cleaning, I guarantee you weren't smoking in their house, because none of them smoked.
No, sorry.
Okay, but none of you were smoking in the house, okay? Same thing with the gloves. Normally you take your gloves off, you throw them in the garbage can. Well, we found gloves, latex gloves, just like the ones that you talked about over there in the house, okay? With fingerprints inside the glove. When you wear a glove and you take the glove off,
Yeah, I know.
there's fingerprints inside the house. Same with the DNA, okay? So that's where we're at with that, okay? We've got duct tape in the house, okay? Duct tape attached to one of those gloves that comes with your fingerprints on it. Now, how does that happen? Okay, like I said, you said, I got a bloody fingerprint, your bloody fingerprint in the house, okay? We got witnesses that I said that saw you there, okay? We got all this stuff, all this evidence, because you see, that stuff was not destroyed, okay? Maybe somebody tried to destroy it, maybe you tried to destroy it. All I'm saying is this, I got all this stuff, and I'm willing to show you, okay? Because I'm gonna lay my cards on the table with you. Because I'm gonna tell you something, I got a theory, all right? I don't think you're some kind of monster. Do I think that you went in there and you wanted to kill these people? Do I think you wanted to do something this horrible to them? No. I think probably what happened is you went over there for one reason, not to harm them, okay? Because did you bring a gun over? Did you bring a knife into the house? I don't think so, okay? Did you bring in all this kind of stuff because you were gonna kidnap them or torture them? You know, was Sarah assaulted? I mean, was Mr. Harris tortured? That type of thing? No, I think this was one thing that led to another. I think something very bad happened, and it just things just kind of spiraled out of control. And I think you're a person that's never committed very serious crimes before. I think there's a crime opportunity. You needed something, maybe things have been a little tough lately, you know, and you needed a few more dollars. And you went into the house for one reason, and it led to completely different. Is this something like you planned or premeditated? No, I don't believe so. I think what happened is you went over there for one reason, a very easy, very simple, much more minor reason. You went over there because you needed a few things. Maybe Sarah surprised you, okay, and you reacted badly. Then you didn't know what to do. You freaked out, and you waited and you waited, and you didn't know what to do or when to leave. How are you going to clean everything up? How are you going to take care of everything? Because things got out of control. Then I think Mr. Harris came home, okay, because you were in there so long, and you were so nervous and so upset, because you've never been involved in something like this. And do you have somebody to call? Do you have a brother? Do you have a cousin, an uncle? Are you involved in some big mafia ring? Are you doing this all the time? No. So you don't know what to do. You're a regular guy. So what are you doing in there? You're smoking cigarettes in there because you're nervous, because you gotta smoke a cigarette. Because anybody knows I used to smoke cigarettes. When you're nervous, when you're eating, after you're done eating, when you take, you know, and when you're nervous, you smoke a lot. So you're in there and you're smoking, and what happens? While you're in there waiting, Mr. Harris comes home. And now what do you do? You know, he confronts you. He's a big guy. He's 6'2", he's bigger than you and me combined, 300 pounds. I don't care what kind of condition he was in. He's a big guy. He sees what's going on. You know, he's going to react. And maybe he was aggressive. And you had to use self-defense, you know, as far as to get out of that place. Because you got to a point and you got to a corner, you know. But it's all about the picture that we paint, okay? Like I said, I don't think that you went in there with the intention to hurt these people. I don't think that you would do that. After 5 years, you've worked in their home. You've seen these people. You saw that Sarah Harris, she's got a little dog. She loves that dog. She'd take that dog everywhere. You got a dog of your own. It's probably like one of your best buddies, like you said. You like sports, and you like your dog. Well, all these things combined. But here's the thing, now all these investigators are working, they're putting this case together. Now it's up to you, it's up to me to put down, what are we gonna put on this case? How are we gonna make this look? What happened, okay? Did you try to do this on purpose? Did you go there to hurt these people? No. But the only way that we're gonna know that is by talking to you. Because I could look at, and anybody could make anything out of this. They could make you out to be a monster. They could say you went over for some devious plan. You wanted to sexually assault a daughter, or you wanted to sexually assault a father, or you did it for money, or you were gonna go do something like that. But no, you didn't go in there to hurt these people. You went in there, what you gotta understand is what you need to make sure that is understood, is you didn't go in there for the worst purpose in the world, okay? Because there's a big difference between somebody waking up in the morning and saying, you know, I'm gonna go kill these people. I'm gonna kidnap, I'm gonna kill them, I'm gonna do a home invasion while they're there. I'm gonna plan it just like that, and I'm gonna ruthlessly and cold blood kill these people. That's a lot different than someone saying, you know what, I'm gonna take advantage of an opportunity. I'm gonna commit a petty crime, and then something bad happens. Because, you know what, I got a job, I got a girlfriend, now that these people know me, and I'm caught, I'm gonna go to jail, even for a petty offense, even for a burglary. I can go to jail. What am I gonna do? Someone starts screaming, Sarah comes in, she starts with you, you grab, you don't know what to do, and then you hit her, okay? And then now you don't know what to do. So you kind of freaked out. And then you go on, and you're nervous, okay? It's not something like you went in there for one purpose, but it's important to people to understand. It's important because when it all comes out in the wash, and it's gonna come out in the wash, we're gonna be here, okay? This wasn't a premeditated thing. It wasn't something you planned to do. Now you could say, he's folded, he's bluffing, just like the poker stuff you watch. And you know, there's some things I got here. I'm gonna just talk about them a little bit, okay? There's a few photos. And like I said, I'm gonna put things on the table, okay, right away. Because it's very important also that you gotta understand. There's a few people, at some point in your life, you have to trust. And you say, this officer, this detective is just trying to do his job. He wants to put me away. He wants to make this case on me because it's going to do something for him. I don't get a dime anymore for this, okay? I get paid by the hour, just like anybody else. Do I get a feather in my hat? No. I'm a detective. I'm not a supervisor. I'm not a captain. I'm not looking to be a captain or a supervisor or a chief or anything. I go, I come in, I do my job, I try to do it honestly with everybody, whether it's you, whether it's Mr. Harris, whether it's whatever. Okay, so I got stuff and I put it on the table, but it's important that it's not just, hey, this guy went in there for the worst evil purposes. So we got to paint the best picture. So how do we make the best picture for you? And why do you believe that what I'm talking about? Well, I got a garbage bag here. Okay, there's obviously blood on it. All right, there's DNA image. All right, there's a bloody print on a door. Okay. There's duct tape, okay? Attached to the duct tape is a latex glove, okay? And part of that latex glove has got your DNA, okay? It's got your fingerprint, okay? All right? There's a roll of tape, okay? Duct tape. At the bottom, you see what those are? Those are Liggett cigarettes. That's a Liggett cigarette pack. All right? You know what I see? I don't see some killer that's planning out to hurt people, all right? I see somebody that goes over for a simple minor petty crime, a burglary, a theft. You know what happens? It spirals out of control, okay? You want us out of town, hopefully. God forbid she's not involved in this, okay? Hopefully everything checks out with her story, she's in Canada, okay? And you take advantage of this opportunity. You need a few dollars. Maybe you want to buy something for her. Maybe you just need to make a couple extra dollars and make a bill payment. Something simple. You know what happens? So, Sarah Harris comes home unexpectedly, not knowing, and something happens. Something happens between you and her. Okay? But it's important. It's important that comes out from you, Russell. Not from me. Not from the state's attorney. Not from anybody else. It's important that it comes out from you because that's the difference. That's more. When they stand up there and say, Russell Sedelmaier did this because of this, this, and this, well, either we paint the picture together, or they paint the picture. Okay, once they paint the picture, it's hard to change. But once we paint the picture, it can't be changed. You understand what I'm saying? Once I put in my report what happened, what I believe happened, what you tell me what happened, that this was not any type of murder, that this wasn't premeditated, that you weren't trying to do anything to these people, that this was an act of, you didn't know what to do. You freaked out, okay? Don't let a couple hours, a couple things like that, take your whole life. Don't let it set you, because there's a big difference between somebody that does something on their own, that goes into a burglary, that goes into a robbery or something, and something goes terribly wrong. And it's a big difference between I walk up into a car, a guy rolls down the window, and boom, boom, I put 2 gunshots in the back of the head. There's premeditation. If I put a gun to your head, boom, boom, and shoot you, I premeditated. That's what I was intended to do. I brought the gun with me. I intended to kill you. That's a big difference between somebody that goes in there and says, hey, I need a few dollars. I needed to get a couple things. Maybe I drank a few beers. I didn't have good judgment that day. I was like, I needed a few dollars. I wanted to get you on to something. I'm sick of, being, behind my bills. I'm sick of making, this much money or whatever. I needed a couple things. And I had a few beers and I didn't use the best judgment. So the worst judgment took over and I went and did something stupid. And when that something stupid happened, something worse happened. And then it spiraled out of control because I've been drinking. And I shouldn't drink. I have a problem with alcohol. I have a DUI. Normally, I can handle it. Sometimes, some days you get me on vacation, you get me away from my girl, maybe I had a fight or argument about money, whatever, and I drink a little too much and I go a little too far. Okay? Inside a garbage can. A bloody print, okay? Inside a toilet, a cigarette, okay? It's taken out of the toilet and DNA is extracted from it, okay? More cigarette butts, okay? More cigarette butts. A pair of pliers. For what reason, I don't know. Your fingerprints on the pliers, okay? Last but not least, the house, okay? Part of the house. This is to show you the upstairs, okay? This is to show you upstairs that it's fine, okay? There's blood here. You see, nothing's burned. Nothing's destroyed in this part of the house, okay? All this stuff taken, okay? What does this show? This doesn't show, this shows half the picture, okay? Anybody can make up any kind of story and paint you however they want. But let me tell you something, there's one thing I know, you can't not be, you can't dispute and say, this wasn't this and this wasn't that. But the one thing is going in your favor is this. It doesn't make any sense for you to go over there and purposely decide, I want to hurt these people. There's no motive, okay? But it happened. But the best thing is this, look, here's the thing. When they look at this case, they're going to want to know what happened. Okay? It doesn't matter. They don't have to show motive. They can make up whatever kind of motive they want. When the state's attorneys decide they want to put you on a stand, they want to paint you as bad as they can. And that can happen if you don't paint it first. If we don't paint the picture of what happened, if we don't talk about how things went and why they went, they're going to make it the worst they can. Because the worst they can is better for them. It makes you look worse. But I don't believe that that's what happened. I believe that what happened is you went in there to take a few things. And you took a few things, but Sarah came home unexpectedly. When she came home unexpectedly, you freaked out. Okay? You made a bad decision. Okay? Because that's the best thing you got going for you. I mean, the best story you got going for you, Russell, is that, you freaked out. You made a bad decision, you snapped judgment. You hit her, whatever, she started screaming, maybe she started attacking you, and you had to, do something to defend yourself. You're a big, strong man. You're 260 plus pounds. She's a 125, 130 pound girl. All it would take is a couple, you hit her once. I mean, it's happened before. People have gotten themselves in that situation. I mean, premeditation, that's what people go down for and are locked up for 50 years. That's what happens when, people get a death penalty and stuff like that. This does not premeditation, okay? You need to understand, if you went in there for one reason, and this happened as a result of not your actions, but your reactions to her actions, or your reactions to Mrs. Harris's actions, then it's completely different. But the only way we can put that down, the only way we can put your side of the story down is it comes from you. Because you know what happens? Everybody goes down the road when you get to court, and they say, well, this is what the mitigating factors are. You know what mitigating is? Mitigating factors are reasons why something happened. It's like when you do something like you bust a window, and people say, well, why'd you do it? Well, I was throwing the ball around and it hit accidentally, or I threw it too far. Or, I was wrestling with my buddy, and, I clipped him in the eye, and I gave him, we were just wrestling. Or, I was drinking, why did you hit your wife? Well, one of the mitigating factors is, I was drinking, and when I drink too much, sometimes I get my temper gets going. That's a mitigating factor. There's aggravating and mitigating. And the mitigating factors are the things that when you say, hey, listen, I was in there for one reason, I'm looking around, and I got surprised. She started screaming, she started hitting me. And then, I hit her, she went down, and then now I didn't know what to do. Here's a girl who could probably identify me, because I've been here before, she knows who I am. So what do? I'm in a trick bag, okay? I just committed a burglary, I'm in her house stealing something, or maybe I'm taking something that, I want, and now I hit her because she started freaking out on me, and I freaked out, I hit her, and now what? What do? How do I prevent me from going to jail? This girl's gonna call the police when I leave, she's gonna know who it was, I'm not gonna have my job anymore, all these things. So sometimes what happens, the mind doesn't work the best way it should. If you don't have anybody to rely on, if you don't have, if you can't say, okay, what should I do? If you've been drinking, people smoke weed, people smoke, crack, and their mind is not working completely. Sometimes people just get too excited and too anxious and too nervous, and things go on, and your mind does not click. You don't go A to B to C to D. You don't think things out clearly. So then you get to a point, and you're thinking, now what should I do? Maybe she starts screaming or struggling, okay? So you tie her up. You tie her up to give yourself some time. You didn't tie her up because you wanted to sexually assault her. You didn't tie her up because you wanted to torture her. You tied yourself up to give yourself more time to think, because what do you do now? Your car's outside, other people in the neighborhood are identified. What happens if someone comes home? What do I do? How do I get out of this situation? What's the best way? Can I talk to the girl and tell her I'm sorry? Can I tell her, please, don't call the police, I'm sorry I hit you. I got a girlfriend, a dog, a nice life. I'm happy with that life. I just made a bad decision here by drinking and by, wanting something somebody else has. It happens all the time. It's called envy. People want something that somebody else has. They need something else. So then you get to a point you're like, what do? So you buy yourself some more time. So she's taped up. And we know that. And I showed you the duct tape. I showed you the gloves. Because I understand, your mind thought goes into survival. It's just like the flight or fight response. The first response is that adrenaline rush when you're in there anyway, and you're already keyed up a little bit. You maybe had a few drinks, a few beers, and you're keyed up a little bit because it's a nervous thing. It ain't something you do every day. And here somebody comes in the house, surprises you, now you react. Okay, now what? Now you're in survival mode. So how do I survive this thing? Well, first of all, I can't have her screaming and yelling and doing all this stuff. I gotta buy myself some time. So what do? Well, I get some stuff that's in the house. Okay, she's knocked out. I've used duct tape. What does that show? If you use stuff in the house that you didn't bring, it shows what? It shows that you didn't plan to do that. You weren't planning to attack her. You weren't planning to attack Mr. Harris. You used the things that are in the house just to buy yourself some time. So you buy yourself some time, okay? And then you get to the point and you're thinking and thinking and thinking. Obviously, you got a bunch of cigarettes in there, a bunch of living cigarettes. It's the same brand you smoke. There's no doubt 100% your DNA is behind all those cigarettes because you're in there smoking. But why? Why are you doing it? Not because you want to hang out at the Harris's house while Sarah's laying on the floor or something. You need to think about what you're going to do. You're not thinking, okay, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. You're probably maybe waiting for it till it gets dark. Maybe how do I get out of this situation? But you got no one to call or rely upon. You've been drinking, so you're not sure. Mr. Harris comes home, and then you have to react again. You probably heard him come up. Now what do? You plan, what am I going to do now? Mr. Harris is going to see there's no way that you can sit there and fight with him and struggle with this guy as big as he is and listen and have him screaming, have the police come. Now you got all these things. You've got to do something quickly with him. So maybe you hit him. Okay, now maybe I'll make it look like it was a robbery or it was just a, whatever. They won't know. I don't know what's going on. What do I do? And you freak out. Okay, you freak out and you lose it. Temporarily for a certain period of time, you just lose all basic common sense thought that you normally would have thought, things you would normally not do. And so for a period of time, you made a bad judgment about going over there, okay, about wanting something, okay? It's a short drive from your house, it's not too far. Maybe 30 minutes, you go right down Milwaukee Avenue, you can shoot right over there. You make a bad judgment, you're having a few beers, you're at home, Joanna's at a wedding in another in Canada. You go back, you go over there, you say, I'm gonna go hit that, because you know, Mr. Harris is usually gone for the day, Sarah's probably out for the day, Mrs. Harris is usually out. You can go in there, get a few things, and leave, and you get stuck in there. Now you get caught in there. So from a short period of time of 12, you make a bad decision about going. You had a few beers, so you're probably under the influence a little bit. You're not probably thinking clearly. Now you're in there, and now all kinds of panic is going on. All kinds of adrenaline, and everything is, what do? You know, you're not in that situation every day. You're not thinking about, what are you going to do? Leave the country? You're going to leave the state? Of course, Sarah's going to know who you were. Now you're going to be on the run. What about Yolanda? What about your dog? What about your cat? All these things. So you freak out, and you kind of make some bad decisions there. For 4 or 5 hours of your life. It's a 4 or 5 hour span of your life. You got to understand, what you got going for you, Russell, is if you look back in your history, there's nothing. You know what I mean? There's a DUI. I don't know if you got some kind of domestic or some other assault charge or something from back away, or whatever, Chicago. But you're a 40-something-year-old guy that lived in Chicago for how many years lived in Chicago?
Most of my life.
Most of your life you lived in Chicago, 40-something years old, and you've been arrested once for DUI and once for some other petty thing. So you don't have a history. There's nobody that's going to say, oh, Russell Sedelmaier has got a history of violence, got a history of doing this to people. No. If you get on the right side of this, if you get on the right track, okay, and you listen to what I got to say, and you know, it sounds, I'm telling you, I don't have to sell this, okay? Because you know the alternative is a lot worse. You know the alternative picture that somebody else would paint is a lot worse. So we're talking about a 4, 5, 6 hour span of time. And and is Joanna involved? No. You keep her out of this. Did you tell her anything about it? No. Because do we even want to know that she knows anything about it? No. We don't want her involved at all in this. We don't want her telling, yeah, Russell told me because he saw the straw, etc. We don't even want to get her involved as a conspirator. We don't want to get a witness. Nothing. We want to deal with this one-on-one, okay? One person. In all your 43, right? 44 years, 45 years of life, you've been arrested one time. You have one instance of alcohol with a DUI. When you realize yourself, okay, I got a problem there, so I'm going to stay away from drinking and driving, all right? This one time you had a lapse, 5 years later, you go one other lapse. You make a mistaken judgment about doing it, and that happens all the time. You ask anybody, in AA or anything, people start drinking, they start using, they make bad decisions. So you make a bad decision, so a 5 hour period, a 6 hour period of your life, where you got extreme stress, where anybody would say, any expert could come and testify and say, under that period of time, we're going to judge this man on 6 hours of his life? Are we going to paint him as a monster? Are you going to let them paint you as a monster? Or are we going to make some kind of explanation? Because here's the other thing. At some point, everybody has this conscience. And they think about what they've done. And they think about whether they believe in something or how they've affected other people. So they have to look at it. What about the family? What about Mrs. Harris? What about Mrs. Harris's other son? What about the rest of the family? What about the community? What about Yolanda? Do you want the media? Do you want, everybody in the States, do you want them painting you as some kind of sick person that went in there and did all this stuff? No. Isn't it much easier? Isn't it much better for her to understand and for the family to understand, for Mrs. Harris to understand? It just something went horribly wrong. How many times have we watched a movie? They make movies about this. Bad things happen sometimes. Good people make bad decisions. And good people do bad things. Okay? A bad thing, a judgment of $5, is it a bad thing? Of course it's a bad thing. Is it excusable? No. But isn't it better that Yolanda think and get the story that, hey, you went in there for one simple thing. Maybe you wanted to get a few more dollars. Maybe you wanted to buy her something. Whatever it was. And then things just got out of control. And of course you're not an evil monster. Of course you're not the type of person to do that. But you know what? Here's what's gonna happen. When the state's attorneys, and I'm a detective, I'm a police officer, okay? So I'm not the one that decides that, okay? But it's from what I'm your spokesperson, okay? My boss says, go in here and talk to Russell. You know, why? Because I can talk to people, all right? Because I try to make people understand, all right? I'm not the state attorney. I'm not the lawyer. I don't have a law degree. I'm the people person. So my boss says, go in there and you tell me what you think about Russell. Tell me how you feel he's going. What do you think of the kind of person he is? What did this person do? How did this happen? Why did this happen? Is he some kind of monster or whatever? You know what I told him from the beginning? I said, you know what? I met this guy, Russell. I want to talk to him again. I want to be the one to talk to him. Because you know what? He seemed like a regular guy. And to me, I've talked with a lot of people. And I've seen crazy people. I've seen sick people. I've sat in a room with guys, killed their children. Okay? And just didn't have any remorse, didn't have a care in the world about it. Okay? But I don't see that here. So I'm your spokesperson. Okay? I'm the one that goes back out and tells my boss what kind of person you are. When the state's attorneys ask me what kind of person you are, and do I believe your story? Do I think it was premeditated? Do I think that you went in there, I'm going to do this, blah, blah, blah? I worked gangs for 7-8 years, all right? So I know gangbangers, they could care less. They go out blasting houses and blasting people in cars and doing drive-bys and walk up on people and shoot them 2, 3, 4, 5 times. I've had people, idiots go into liquor stores with no remorse at all, hopped up on crack, smoking dope and blasting a guy behind a counter. I've done those. Okay, this is different. So when they ask me, what do you think? Is this something that, this looks really bad? And that's the bizarre part. That's the bizarre part. But there's so much stuff. There's so much physical evidence, that it's like, it's not someone that planned it out. You can tell a scene. When somebody plans something out, they bring things, they know exactly what they're going to do, they follow a script, and sometimes something happens. When they're planning something really bad. But when somebody plans something that's just minor, and they don't expect something, and they got to react, and things go bad, you can see it's scattered. No matter even if you had 4 or 5 hours in the house. That's a lot to think about, a lot to cover. Where you were in the house, obviously, if someone attacks you, like Sarah may have attacked you and went after you, and you had to defend yourself, or you had to stop her from screaming and yelling and causing this big ruckus so you could think and get your mind under control, there's going to be problems. There's going to be mess. There's going to be some blood. There's going to be your finger. You didn't think, okay, maybe you put gloves on, you went in there, you're going to take a few things and get out. So what? Harris is called a Buffalo Police Department. It's a burglary. Okay, a few things are missing. Whoever's going to solve it. You're not there. They're not going to go into it. They're not going to go into it that much. But now when something happens like this, Sarah comes home, and now you got to do something, and then now, there's a mess. So it doesn't matter. It's so hard to figure everything at once. It's so hard that when you don't think about doing something, when you're going into it, and all of a sudden you got to react, unless you got experience, I'm sorry, you ain't going to get it all at once. You're not going to cover every base. And then who knows what happens at the end. Did you mean to say, okay, maybe when you figured it out, you say, okay, now this is what I got to do. I love my girlfriend. I like my life. Okay? It's unfortunate what happened. And I freaked out on these people. I freaked out on Sarah. Mr. Harris came home. I had no other choice. Okay? I just had no choice. It's me or him. He attacked me. He probably saw what was going on. Whatever. I had to defend myself. And unfortunately, I didn't think quick enough and clean up everything quick enough and get out of there quick enough because I just couldn't decide what to do. Because it doesn't look like, because here's the thing. If you thought in your mind, if you had it in your heart to kill somebody right away like that with Sarah, you could have done it right away. You could have done it right there, done it and left. And you'd be done. But instead, you got a person that's stuck with a conscience, okay, that has got a conscience and that has got some feeling inside. You got a person that's stuck. That's what I see. I see a person that's got in a quandary, that sees, hey, here I am in this house. I did this thing. Okay, do I make it worse? Do I make it better? How can I make it better? You got no way to make it better. You're stuck. I don't see somebody sitting around going, yeah, I'm going to torture this person. None of that happened. None of that happened. I could get on a stand tomorrow and say, this is my theory, and this is what I believe happened. And that would be in my heart, okay? Just like I laid out for you here. And I can understand, I could say, this is the way things went, okay? But I'm gonna tell you right now, if we don't come to some kind of what happened or why things went down, it's similar to what I said, it could be a lot worse. It could be way worse. Somebody else is gonna make it, the state service, they're gonna take it, and they're gonna make it fucking all over the news. CNN, MSNBC, everything. Because that's what happens when they get these big things, giant things going on. But if it's a burglary that's gone bad, and then someone says, hey, somebody freaked out for 4 or 5, they were stuck. I see a person inside a house that's got a conscience. Because like I said, if you wanted just to kill Sarah, you could have killed her. I think you went in there because of a burglary. I think you went in there to steal something. I think she came in. You use the bathroom? Okay. You need any more coffee?
Absolutely.
Okay. Hey, let me ask you a question for a second. Have a seat. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, do you get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think, you went in there with intentions to try to kill these people.
I wasn't in there. I don't know if you want to charge me or
What was you there?
do what, charge me, arrest me, let me go, give me a lawyer. Are you gonna arrest me now?
You said?
Are you gonna arrest me now?
I think.
There was a police officer that night working in that area as a side job. That day. And guaranteed that van, that Voyager was over there. He's besides the neighbor that saw you coming out of that house, going into that house from that van, besides that neighbor, that detective, that other officer that works in that neighborhood, and a side job, he's gonna finger you. And things didn't go right. I can understand that. I'm sure you know what happened in the basement, what started in the basement, but it just died there. It didn't go any farther. You can, like I showed you the picture of the house, the picture upstairs. Right there. There's no damage. There's no fire, no burning, no nothing. The bag up front, nothing happened. It didn't work. Because people, when you don't do this for a living, when you're not some kind of crazy serial killer that's done over and over and over, you make mistakes. There's one mistake after the other here. I mean, it's obvious. What do you think your Honor's going to tell the investigators? What do you think? What do you think she'll
Tell them the truth, and that's it.
Uh-huh.
She's not a liar, she'll be telling what she knows.
How do we know that? How do we know you didn't talk to her about this? About being at the house, about what happened, how things went back? We won't know that for days before, because obviously it makes sense. You live with her, you've been with her all these years. There's not one person in Harrigan, in this house, in this whole building, that's gonna believe you didn't talk to her at all about it, that she doesn't have some inkling about it. So they're gonna wait, they're gonna wanna try to get that information from her. You know what I'm saying? And that's just what I'm telling you. Spare her the pain, the heartache. I mean, here's a woman with you for how many years? Seems like a regular lady. I don't know what your relationship is. I don't know, maybe there's something else going on. Maybe there's more to this than I think. Maybe it's not, a burglary. Maybe there's more to it. Maybe there's somebody else involved. Maybe you don't want to take the fall. Maybe you want to take the fall. Maybe you're worried about who you're going to talk, what's going to happen. But believe me, maybe there's something else going on that I don't see with maybe Sarah, Mrs. Harris or something like that. You tell me. I mean, because little by little, this is all going to come out. That's all I want to have is little by little. Girlfriend, the neighbors, the friends, the physical evidence, and all these things yell about it. No. And there's got to be some explanation for it. There's got to be more than just, sickness. I mean, I don't think you're there for the person.
No.
I don't think you're a serial killer. Unless this is your first, you just decide I'm going to go and murder these people. It doesn't look like it. It doesn't make any sense. It's too sloppy. Too much stuff left behind. I mean, there's no explanation for so much of this stuff, though. I don't think you want to go down like this. I don't think this is the way you want to leave it. And everybody always gets later on down the road, you're going to be thinking to yourself, maybe I should have said something, maybe I should have opened my mouth and made some kind of explanation here. Maybe I should have fucking straightened this detective out or straightened these people out and set the path. Because here's the thing, now it's just, you have no idea, you have no control, you don't know what's going to be said about you or where it's going to go. Instead, you have the perfect opportunity to say, listen, detective, this is the way it is. It ain't just me, or I was with this person, or this is why it happened, or maybe it was just a burglary, and maybe bad things happen. And you made a bad decision, you made a couple bad decisions over a period of time. You were drinking, and you set this thing straight, but...
Well, they always come back about drinking.
I don't know, because you said you've been drinking.
Because you had a DUI?
Oh, well, you said you were drinking that day, 11 o'clock in the morning, go out and get a six-pack on a day when you're not, when you sit at home. I don't drink, I drink with some friends, I usually don't drink by myself. And I'm just wondering if maybe, because I said, you don't look like the type of guy to go do something like this.
I always drink at home.
Okay, well, that's
By
why I said
myself
drinking.
or with Alonda, she's having a few beers too.
So you don't think a drink had anything to do with it? What are you
No.
saying? Okay. Well, help me understand. Help me understand. That's what I'm saying. We're just the guys that are...
How long are you gonna keep me, dude? You're gonna arrest me?
I'm just talking you, Russell.
But how long can you wanna talk to me?
Like I said, I got all this stuff, I'm trying to come up with answers for it. That's all. I mean, you gotta understand that, I'm trying to do my job, right? I mean, if you were my
You got all this stuff, you should give me a lawyer and then...
Oh, Russell, here's the thing, I'm just trying to look at some of this stuff, and
I
figure this
know you
stuff out.
told me.
Hold on a second. I think it's, Okay, Russell, it's getting kind of late. Let me get you back to Buffalo Grove and finish this thing out, okay? We're gonna get you back to, back so we can finish this thing out. Back to Buffalo, it's getting too late. Getting kind of late. Okay, no problem.
Having found no evidence that Reverend Eileen Harris was involved in the murders, police bring Richard Sedelmaier in for another round of questioning.
Just, have a seat there. Oh, I go ahead, sit down. Yeah.
You want anything to drink right now, Russell? You okay? Okay. You finished that coffee already?
Yeah.
Oh, you left that in the car, right?
Yeah.
Okay. You want those cigarettes?
Yes.
Okay, I'll bring you cigarettes in the ashtray. Just knock on the door if you need anything. You need the washroom or anything right now?
No.
Okay, yeah, just knock if you need anything. Anything else you need? Cold or anything? Need a blanket?
I've been into the bathroom, is okay?
Yeah, come on.
Hey, Russell. Obviously, you mentioned tonight, tinnitus. What I'm gonna do right now is, we have to take a buccal swab from you, okay? So I'm gonna read you, this is a search warrant, which gives, the judge orders for your, the buccal swab. I'm gonna read it to you, I have to read. It says, the people of the state of Illinois, search warrant, Circuit Court of Cook County, Illinois. On this date, 19th July 2005, investigator Richard Wilson, number 1938 of the Lake County Major Crime Task Force, complaints have subscribed and sworn to a complaint for a search warrant before me. Upon examination of the complaint, I find it states sufficient facts to show probable cause. I therefore command you to search Russell H. Sedelmaier, birthday February 9th, 1961, male, white, brown hair, hazel eyes, 44 years of age, 5'10", 225 pounds, 5630 North Mason, Chicago, Cook County, Illinois. And seize the following instruments: articles and things, articles of personal property tending to establish identification of persons, proof of residency, proof of employment, wallet, electronic devices including but not limited to cellular telephones, pagers and personal data devices, weapons, instruments that may be used as weapons, such as knives, tools, clothing, gloves, cigarettes, jewelry, forensic and patent items of evidentiary value, including fingerprint evidence, saliva, and buccal swabs, which is what we're gonna do here, footwear impressions, and any other evidence. And it says, which may have been used in the commission or of which constitute evidence of the offense of murder, section 9-1 of Act 5 of Chapter 720 of the Illinois Compliance Statutes. I further command that a return of anything seized shall be made without necessary delay before me or before any court of competent jurisdiction. And it's signed by Judge Galawaki, and it's at 12:27 in the morning this morning, which is after midnight, 7/19/05. That's the time of issue. Okay, this is a copy of yours. What time do you have now?
At 1:30 p.m. 7/19.
What's it?
7/19, July 19.
That's going to be a copy, okay?
Russell, I'm just gonna explain the procedure. These are two buccal swabs. I'm gonna do the inside of your left cheek and the inside of your right cheek. Okay, so all I'm gonna have you do is once I open these up, they're sterile, everything like that. That's why I'm wearing gloves and everything. So I'm just gonna have you open up your mouth and I'm just gonna swab the inside of your cheek and everything like that. It's not anything that's gonna stick you or anything like that. It's just a cotton swab, and I'll just do the inside of your cheek, okay?
There's nothing in your mouth or anything, right? No food, nothing, drinking.
Just go ahead and open it up.
That's it? Yep. Are you hungry? You need anything more to drink or some food or anything? Can we get you anything? At all? Okay.
to talk to you, please?
Sure.
You gonna let me see how long it is?
I don't know, I gotta talk to the boss. And we, have to find out what he wants to do.
I really don't wanna see her, I wanna, let her go. I'll tell you what happened.
Okay, just so you know, I gotta make it clear, if you wanna talk about the case, I gotta go through your rights again, because, yesterday you said, hey, I want a lawyer and everything. Okay? So I'm gonna advise your rights and everything, okay? We'll go through that, because I wanna make it clear, I don't wanna have any, nobody accusing me of doing anything, improper or anything, okay? So when we do that, I'll go get my folder, and we'll talk.
I just want you to let Alonda go. She had nothing to do with it.
Okay, but you said you wanna tell me something. If you wanna tell me something, then I gotta make sure everything's on the up and up, is that okay? Okay, give me a minute.
So take this smoke.
Sure. Okay, now, again, I just wanna make it perfectly clear. You said you wanna talk to me about the case. Before I do that, I wanna go over these rights again, okay? Just so you understand them again, all right? You understand you have the right to remain silent, you understand that?
Mhm.
Okay, you understand anything you say can't be used against you in court or other proceeding, you understand that?
Mhm.
Okay. You have the right to talk to a lawyer for advice before we ask any questions they have here during question, you understand that? Okay. Again, if a lawyer will be appointed for you before, free of any cost to you before any question, you understand that? If you wish, okay? Knowing all this, do you want to talk, you saying you want to talk to me right now about what happened?
Yeah.
Okay.
If you let Alonda, you let Alonda go.
Here's what's gonna happen, okay? You tell me what happened, we'll talk about it, obviously. If she's not involved in anything, if she doesn't know anything, she's gone. Is that fair enough? You just wanna know what happened.
It's like this, that I went in there to rob the house.
Okay.
And I was very intoxicated, so
So tell me what happened, you woke up or whatever, you were having a few beers. What happened?
I went there to rob the house. And
Okay.
I drove there very intoxicated
Okay.
to rob the house.
All right, and then what happened when you got there?
I just started putting stuff in the boxes and stuff. She walked in on me,
Who walked in?
so
Okay, Sarah walked in on you, where were you at when she walked in?
I got in the kitchen.
Okay, so then what?
We wrestled a little bit and I tied her up.
What was her reaction what was Sarah's reaction when she came in the house and you were in the house? What room were you in?
The kitchen.
Okay, you were in the kitchen, she came in the house, she came in the front door?
Yeah.
And then what was her reaction when she saw you in the kitchen?
We started struggling.
Did she say anything to you? Did she yell? Did you say anything to her?
Which we didn't care.
She said, what you're doing here? Okay, then what happened?
When I tied her up.
Okay, well, how did you tie her up? Did you let her, you know what I mean? Did she just say, okay, go ahead, tie me up? What happened?
Yeah, she stopped struggling.
Okay, so she was struggling. Do you mean you were holding her, you were grabbing her, what
I
happened?
was holding her hand.
Okay. Did you hit her?
No,
Okay, so you're just holding her hands and you tied her up. What'd you tie her up with?
the tape that was there.
Okay. Do you remember, where did you tie her up? Like, did you tie her hands, her arms, her legs, what?
Her feet in her hand.
Tie her feet and her hands up? Okay. Then what happened? Once you got her tied, was she yelling? Was she screaming or anything? She didn't say anything?
She was just sitting there
Okay, where was that at?
in the living room.
Okay. How'd you get from the kitchen to the living room?
She walked there.
She walked there? After she was tied up?
She walked there.
Okay.
Tied her hands first.
Okay, tied her hands, so she walked there. So she was cooperating with you?
Yes.
Okay. I just didn't hear you. So then once you tied her up, then what happened?
And I think I even cast out there for a little bit.
You think you got passed out? Was she conscious? Was she awake? Something must have happened.
She was sitting there.
Okay. And did you have her tied to anything, like a chair or anything like that?
The chair.
Oh, you had her tied, did you ever sit on a chair?
Yes.
Did you have her tied as far as a duct tape on a chair?
Yes.
Okay. So you had her tied to the duct tape on a chair, and then what happened?
I think I passed out for a while
Okay, where were you, sitting on a chair? Were you on a couch, or?
in the kitchen.
Okay. So what did you do? Did you wake up, or did something happen to wake you up, or?
I woke up.
Okay, what was she doing?
She was just sitting there.
Okay.
And then he come in.
He came in while she was sitting there?
Yeah.
What did, you talk about Mr. Harris?
Yeah.
What happened then?
It was a struggle.
Now, what do you mean by struggle? I mean, I'm just trying to get, I'm trying to get an idea of what happened. Now, we talked about how, obviously you went in there to rob the place. She was there, you're trying to figure out what to do. So what kind of struggle did you have with him?
He just started fighting with me
Did he grab you? Did he hit you? Did he swing at you or anything like that?
because he tried to swing at me.
Okay, now what did
They
you
were
do?
close to the basement and I pushed him down the stairs.
Okay, you pushed him down the stairs, and then what happened to
Then he got up and I went there and Sarah untied herself.
him?
I don't know what she got untied.
Okay,
And she started hitting me.
okay.
And I pushed her down
You pushed it down
Yeah.
on the ground,
in
in the living room, or where?
the kitchen.
In the kitchen? And then what happened?
I went down the stairs to see what he was doing. And then Sarah, I don't know what she got. She grabbed a knife
Mm-hmm. And what happened?
and just went crazy after that.
You went crazy? You kind of lost it? Okay. One of the things is, how did Sarah get her, injuries on her head? Was that when the first struggle? Do you remember? I mean, what did you hit her with?
In the chair.
Okay, you hit her with a chair? Was that before or after you tied her up?
No, because they were both got loose.
Okay, so you're saying you went into the house. What time did you go over to the house about?
I don't remember.
You said you'd been drinking, but where were you at drinking?
At home.
You were at home drinking, and you decided to get in the car and just go rob the house, the Harris's. And then when you got to the house, how'd you get in? How'd you get into the house?
The back window.
Back window? Was it open?
Always
Always open? Slider, or you mean like one of the windows that you crawled in?
the window.
The lift window? By the kitchen?
By the living room.
By the living room? So you went in the back window, and then your intention was to take some things?
Just rob that home.
What kind of stuff was there that you wanted to take?
And like,
Okay. And then Sarah came in while you were in the kitchen, and then she said, "What are you doing here?" Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay. And then you tied her up, but she never screamed, or she wasn't yelling for the police or anything like that? I mean, did you have to do anything with to keep her from yelling?
but it's screaming.
Okay. Now, here's the thing. Now, you said you had her tied up. She's sitting in a chair, right? Can you tie her to the chair? With the duct tape, or she was just sitting in the chair?
She was tied to the chair.
Tied to the chair? Okay. And where'd you fall asleep, on a chair or on a couch? You
So
said?
I woke up on the kitchen floor.
You woke up on the kitchen floor. And where was she at when you woke up?
Still in the chair.
And what woke you up?
I just,
When you just woke up? What'd you do after you woke up?
it wasn't that much longer, 8 months later.
Okay. How long do you think you were in the house? I mean, from what time to what time do you think?
Well, 6 hours later.
6 hours? Okay. And you said, what happened when he came in the house?
The struggle.
Struggle?
He started swinging and he got closer to the door by the basement. I pushed him down the stairs.
Okay. You pushed him down the stairs, and what happened? Was he able to get up right away, or?
No, it was just laying down there.
Okay. So, then after you hit Sarah with the chair, that happened in the living room?
Yeah,
Okay. Did she get knocked out?
no, she kept coming at me.
Okay. And then what did you do?
I lost it. I just kept hitting her.
Kept hitting her with the chair? How many times do you think you hit her with the chair? 3 times? I mean, did you take the whole chair and hit it over the head, or did you take one of the legs, or what?
You know,
The whole chair? How'd you hold it? By the back? You hit her with like the leg part of it? Or did you hit her with hold the legs and hit her with the other part?
I kept on the way.
Alright, so then you hit her, and then after Mr. Harris, did he get up off the basement stairs, or did he stay down
He started coming back up.
there? Okay,
And I pushed him back down.
you push him back down, and how many times did you hit Mr. Harris?
He moved forward.
4 times? Did you just hit him with the chair, did you hit him with your fist, or what did you hit him
Sure.
with? The chair? Same chair?
No, it's a different one.
A different chair? Okay. So then, what happened then?
They were both out and I didn't know what, I just lost the leg.
So they're both unconscious at some point?
Yes.
Okay, because you said you tied up Sarah with duct tape. Okay, but she kinda got loose?
Yeah.
Did you re-tie her up again?
No,
You never did?
no,
Okay. Now, Mr. Harris, you said you knocked him out unconscious with the chair while he was down in the basement?
yeah.
Okay, so then what happened? I mean, you said you were trying to figure out what to do. Obviously, this is what we're talking about, all right? You're thinking, what can I do? You're kind of in a hard spot, you know, everything.
I lit the bars of the fire and I ran out the door.
Okay. You said at some point, I'm sorry, what did you say?
I lit the bars of the fire and ran out.
Okay. So then, so then what happened, you said that Sarah had taken a knife and come in with you with a knife. When did that happen?
So we were struggling. I guess the knife was by the kitchen table.
Mm-hmm. Did she grab the knife, or did you grab the
She
knife?
grabbed it
Okay.
and I grabbed it from her.
So her fingerprints should be on the knife too. Did you have gloves on when that happened, or no?
No, lost the leg.
So they're both unconscious at some point.
Yes.
Okay, because you said you tied up Sarah with duct tape. Okay, but she kinda got loose?
Yeah.
Did you re-tie her up again?
No,
You never did?
no,
Okay. Now, Mr. Harris, you said you knocked him out unconscious with the chair while he was down in the basement?
yeah.
Okay, so then what happened? I mean, you said you were trying to figure out what to do. Obviously, this is what we're talking about, all right? You're thinking, what can I do? You're kind of in a hard spot, you know, everything.
I lit the bars of the fire and I ran out the door.
Okay. You said at some point, I'm sorry, what did you say?
I lit the bars of the fire and ran out.
Okay. So then, so then what happened, you said that Sarah had taken a knife and come in with you with a knife. When did that happen?
So we were struggling. I guess the knife was by the kitchen table.
Mm-hmm. Did she grab the knife, or did you grab the
She
knife?
grabbed it
Okay.
and I grabbed it from her.
So her fingerprints should be on the knife too. Did you have gloves on when that happened, or no?
No,
Okay. So what kind of knife was
regular kitchen knife.
there's all kinds of keys. Was it a butcher type? Was it a little tiny knife? Was it a long, like a bread knife or something? What's it?
The big one.
A big one? Okay. So then what happened? What did you do with the knife?
You just got coming at me and I hit her a few times, but I poked her with it.
Poked her with it? So how did you do it? Show me, how did you do it? Did you go like this? Did you cut her across this way? Or how?
Just coming at me and I went like that.
You went in there like that? Do you know where you cut her?
Hitting by the face.
By the face? And the neck? Okay. How many times do you think you cut her? About, how many times do you think you poked at her or slashed at her?
Getting a tree.
Okay. And then what about Mr. Harris?
Sim.
Now, was he unconscious?
No.
He was still awake?
Yeah.
Okay, but I just want to get things clear. I just want you to know, all right? The biggest thing is we get this down, okay? You went in there for one reason. You went in there around the house for a few things. Things went bad. Exactly, you know? You said you had been drinking, you know, you reacted. Okay, this is what we're talking about, your reaction. I'm not trying to say that you went in there and even after it happened, do you
I
understand?
didn't do anything to count.
Okay,
Just went in the road.
but I need to make sure that the thing that I see in the house is consistent with what you say, okay? So Mr. Harris is down in the basement, you pushed him down. He was getting back up, you pushed him back down the stairs again. And then you took a chair and you hit him with a chair. How many times did you hit him with a chair?
Not 3 times.
How many?
3 or 4 times.
Okay. Was he knocked out then? Or could he not get up? Was he kind of dazed?
He was out for a while. I went up to see what Sarah was doing, and I went back down the stairs, and he was getting up again.
Okay. So he was getting back up again, and what did you do?
That's when I had the knife. He started swinging at me, and I slashed it.
Okay, how many times? 3, 4, 5 times?
3 or 4.
Okay. Do you know where you cut him? Or where you slashed at him?
Making the hands, and I got him by the face too.
Okay. Did you slash it? Did you cut him on the throat at all?
I don't remember
Okay.
swinging, slashing.
Okay. At some point, did both of them stop resisting?
Yeah,
Okay. So Mr. Harris, where's the last place you saw him?
laying in the basement.
Laying in the basement? Like all the way in the back of the basement, by the stairs, where? In the front? Do you remember where you saw him?
Towards the bed.
Closer to the back of the basement? Okay, and that's where you slashed him last?
Yeah.
Was in the basement. Now, where did you leave Sarah? Where was the last place you saw Sarah Harris? Where was she left at?
In the living room.
In the living room. And she was unconscious, or did you know what condition she was in?
I think she was unconscious.
Okay. Did you think she was dead at that time?
Vaguely.
Okay. Did you think Mr. Harris was dead too? Because, remember we talked about, you know, you said you started the place on fire. So, you weren't trying to burn them alive, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So you thought both Mr. Harris and Sarah were dead when you started the fire? Okay. So why'd you start the fire?
Afraid of everything.
To hide everything? Okay. Now the knife that you used, do you know what you did with the knife? I mean, did you do anything after you cut Mr. Harris and Sarah and they were out?
They dropped it.
You dropped it? Do you know where you dropped it? Do you remember? Okay. And how did you start the fire?
With the light.
With a lighter? Okay. All right. And you didn't, like you said, you didn't go in there for that reason.
Yeah, I didn't really.
Okay. Now, then, and how did you get there? What did you take? What vehicle, how did you get to the Harris house?
The blue.
The blue van, the older one? The one that was in the garage? Okay. Did you take, I'm sorry, what did you take out of the house then eventually? After it was all done? You didn't take anything?
I
Okay.
was too scared.
Too scared? So,
I didn't know what I was doing. It was very thrilling.
okay.
I drank a lot of tequila.
So where did you leave then? Did you leave out the back window again, or how did you leave the house? You went out the front door? Okay. Where was your van parked?
Lit from
The front, the blue van. So You went out the front door and you just drove off, where'd you go?
Home.
Okay. You know what time you got home about? You remember, was it dark out yet? Was it just getting dark or still light?
Still white.
Still light out when you got home? Okay. And you don't remember exactly what time you went over there?
No.
Okay. You remember the stuff that I showed you? Remember the stuff like the little things that you guys sell at the flea markets and the bandanas in there? Do you know how they got in the house? You remember how they got in the house?
I got you a bag in there.
What was the bag? What did you take the bag in there for?
Hmm?
What did you take the bag in there for when you went into the house?
I don't really know. Really.
What was in the bag?
The stuff that you showed me.
Anything else?
Yeah.
Okay. So what kind of items were in the bag? Can you recall?
I think some of those bandanas. Bandanas. So stuff that I had in the car, I don't know why I put the bag in the house.
Okay. Were you maybe gonna put some of your items you took from the house in the bag to bring it back into the van maybe?
I don't know why I
Okay.
put it in there really. I don't even remember when I woke up.
Do you
You know,
remember
the next day, the
Yeah.
dog even beat the
the rest of the
bathroom.
house?
Less than the house.
So Wednesday night, when you went home after this all happened, did you go anywhere else or just go straight home?
And I took the shower and I woke up late the next day.
Okay. So Thursday you woke up really late. Do you remember what you were wearing when you went into the house? What clothes you were wearing?
Shorts, not shirt, like I got
What kind of shirt? Was it the one you got on or a t-shirt or
so like you.
like that? What kind of shorts?
They were like this.
Which was the clothes that you had on?
Natural,
Garbage or were they still
yeah.
right back behind your house?
Yeah.
Okay. Is that garbage been picked up since or is it still behind your house somewhere those clothes?
Good.
Okay. And you left the knife at the house? And did you take anything, because, you know, like DVDs or movies or anything, did you wake up the next day and find stuff in your van that you took from the house, anything?
No,
Just being important, to be honest, because it shows it was just a robbery. You know what I mean? Helps you.
too scared, I just ran out.
You just ran out the front door, got in the van, took off.
Yeah.
So when you say you started a fire to cover everything up, you started a fire where?
In the basement.
In the basement. How did you do it?
You know what?
Just a lighter, and what did you start on fire?
The box is closest to the stairs.
Okay. Did you wait it off for the fire to start, or
No, it started right away.
it started right away? Okay. And you have nothing left from the Harris's, you didn't take anything from the Harris's?
You know, I was just scared, I just ran out.
Okay. One thing that we need to make sure, like we said before, we have it documented that this was the intent. You went in there to rob the house, you didn't mean to do this, you were, you know, like you said, you've been drinking, you know, you even passed out maybe and everything. And do you have a recollection of the time period, like what time you went over the house now? Just to try to get an idea about what time you might have went to the house. Like what time did you wake up that morning?
Probably like 6,
Mm-hmm.
but I still drinking.
Okay.
I don't know what
And
time.
was it after 10 in the morning? Was it afternoon?
It was in the afternoon.
It was in the afternoon. How long were you in the house before Sarah came
In the dog.
in? Okay. Did she have her dog with her? Do you know?
No, the dog was
The dog was where?
in the house.
Oh, not your dog. I mean her dog.
No, the dog.
Oh, her dog was in the house. Okay, when you got in there.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Now, so it's important, like I said, we put it down so we make sure that people understand this is what the motive was. I got no problem talking to my boss, let you have a chance to talk to Yolanda. I don't think I have a problem with it.
I
There's no
don't
reason.
know what to say to her.
You don't want to see her? You want me to talk to her? You want me to tell her something?
Chuck, you got a phone call right now.
Okay, just give me a minute, okay? I'm sorry. Okay. No. Hmm? See, you know what, you're not the kind of person, okay? You're not the kind of person, we need to make it straight, okay? Set it straight for everything. You know, you went in there, like you said, to do a robbery, it happened. You're out of your mind a little bit, you didn't know what to do, you freaked out, you know, things happen, one thing's happened after another. Your whole life, 40-something years, okay? This is 5 or 6 hours, okay? You know what I mean? This isn't your whole life.
It is, it destroyed my whole life in 6 hours.
Well, we need to make things as good as possible. Put the best spin as possible on it, okay? Here's what I want you to do, okay? You tell me, all right? I want to make some kind of record of this in my report. I want to make sure I get it correct. I don't want to put anything in there that's not the right way in my report, okay? You want to write out what happened?
Right.
You can't write? You want me to type out what happened? What you told me, I'll type out, and I will go over it to make sure there's nothing else in there. Nothing, everything is right. There's no, you know what I mean? I'll type it out, I'll come back in. Okay? Give me a couple minutes.
Chuck, Dad, you got disconnected, they're back on the line.
I'm sorry, Russell. You need more coffee or anything? Or something to drink?
Coffee.
You want some more coffee? I'm gonna get some coffee. I'm gonna get some, you want a soda or anything else to start? Okay. Yeah, I'm sorry. They're a broke pot, so we got some more coffee going and stuff. This is old and cold. You know, I just want to go through some things, okay, with you again. All right, kind of want to go some stuff. Talk about that day again, okay? I know you said you got up in the morning about 6, 7 o'clock, or what time do you think you woke up?
It was about 5:30, I think.
Now, you've been cleaning for Harris's for, you said, what, 6 years, 5 years? When did you first start thinking about doing this? I mean, like, robbing the house? When's the first time you thought of it? I mean, yeah,
Right before, along the line, on a trip.
what's it, right before she went on a trip? Like the last time you were in the house, or the last time you guys cleaned it, or just, you were just thinking about it?
I'm just thinking about it.
Okay. Now, when you left, I want to try to come up with an idea about what time you think you left your house that morning, or that afternoon. Like 11, 11:30?
I don't know, somewhere around 12 o'clock.
Not 12? Okay. You remember how, tell me, you know, what direction or what road did you take? Did you take the tollway, or did you take the side streets, or
You know, it's over.
you took the tollway? So how do you get on, like where we got on at, you get on where, at, right at Milwaukee or Bryn Mawr? How do you get on
Yeah,
tollway?
when we got on, going somewhere.
So you took what road to what road? You just kind of go through, you took what, 90 to 294, or you took 90?
90 and then what, to, what is it, 294 to Willow.
To Willow?
Yeah,
Okay. And you take Willow, what, west
yeah.
towards Buffalo Grove?
Mhm.
Which, how far, what street did you go up then?
That street where they live on that. I took Willow and went by Wolf and Wolf, that street where they live.
So you took
I'm not
Willow,
very.
okay, so you took Wolf up north to whatever street they're off of? You know what street, what the main street is at?
That's the main street, I don't even know the main street name,
Okay.
I'm terrible at stuff like
And
that.
they just live on that one block street, right? Like a cul-de-sac?
Yeah.
Okay. So when you pull into the cul-de-sac, then you park right on front of the house, or where were you at? Where you parked?
A little bit down past their mailbox.
Go past their mailbox? And then, did you bring anything into the house?
I brought the bag with me.
What color is the bag? White bag. And how did you get to the backyard?
Hmm?
How did you get to the backyard?
They gave
Through the gate, and then it's what window do you come into? Is it a living room window?
the living room window.
Okay. So once you get into the living room window, did you close the window behind you, or
I closed it.
you closed it? And then what did you do? Like, what did you start going through?
Looking at packed up the DVDs and stuff.
Okay, you packed up some DVDs. How about how many?
What was there?
What was there?
I don't know.
Okay. I mean, was there like 20, 50? Was there a whole stack, or what?
Probably in the hundreds.
In the hundreds? Where are those DVDs located?
In the
In the living room? Okay. And then what else? What else did you get to after that?
whatever I could find
Okay, did you go upstairs at all?
upstairs. I wouldn't
Okay. Whose rooms did you go in upstairs? Or which rooms?
call it.
All of them? Do you remember anything you took out of the rooms?
Some money in one of the drawers.
Okay.
They took there.
How much money?
He was funny still.
150? Okay.
Some clothes and stuff I picked up.
Clothes? Where'd you get the clothes from?
It's serious.
Okay. And you said you packed them up. Where'd you pack them in?
It's garbage.
Garbage bags? Did you bring the garbage bags into the house? Or garbage bags from their house?
They get garbage.
They had garbage bags? White ones or black ones or what?
Black and white.
Black and white? And then when you packed the stuff upstairs in the house, did you leave it upstairs? Did you bring it downstairs or what?
Bring it down.
Downstairs, and where'd you put it?
Some in the garage and some in the,
What's it?
by the front door.
Yeah, I just, this here is the head.
So,
That's okay.
think it was.
I don't know, so you remember. So then,
Now I remember what I did.
mhm. So when did you, so at what point, you said you were in the kitchen or something and Sarah came in the front door? Did you hear her coming in, or what happened? Or did she totally surprise you?
She surprised me.
Okay. You remember what she was wearing at all? What color clothes, like what kind of shirt was she wearing? How about pants? What color pants was she wearing?
Dark,
She's wearing what?
a dark pair.
Dark pair of pants? How about the shirt?
And collar.
Okay. So when she came in, what was her first reaction to
She surprised me. She come in like, and she was calling the door.
you? Mm-hmm.
And then she seen me and she started screaming.
She started screaming. What was she screaming?
What are you doing here?
What are you doing here?
And I wrestled her down to the floor and she just stopped and she said, okay, okay.
She said, okay, okay.
And
All right.
I taped her up.
You taped her up with the duct tape?
Yeah.
Okay, you taped her where, on her legs, her hands, or her feet, or where?
Hands first.
Her hands first? How did you tape them? Like behind her back, or where?
No, in the front.
In the front? So basically, you were struggling with the wrestler onto the ground. You hadn't hit her or anything yet at this point, right? And then she just said, okay, comply. And then you taped her up on the hands, and then you walked her into the other room?
Yeah.
Okay. Now when you walked her into the other room, then what did you do? Where'd you put her?
In the chair.
In a chair? Okay, which chair? The couch chair or like one of the dining room chairs?
Dining room chair.
Dining room chairs. And so you sat her down in the chair, right? And then what happened? Then you did you tape her to the chair?
I taped it to the chair.
How'd you do that? I mean, if that's the chair you're sitting in, how did you tape her to the chair?
I think I taped her feet to the leg and then around the two.
You taped her feet to the leg, and then around her body maybe?
Around her legs to the chair.
Okay, so you taped your legs to the chair. Was she still screaming or not at that point? What kind of things was she saying to you? Was she asking you questions like anything? Or?
She said, take what you want and get out.
Okay, so I can't hear you.
Take what you want and get out.
Okay. And then did you just proceed to take some things, or did you say anything to her? Did you tell her anything? I mean, she knows who you are, right? Did she recognize you?
And
Oh, you don't know. She didn't say. She doesn't know your name.
we don't see each other.
You don't see her as much as Mr. Harris or Mrs. Harris, right? So then what did you start doing? Taking some more things, or getting some more things together, or what?
No, I think that's when I passed out for a while.
Okay.
I woke up on the kitchen floor.
So you woke up on the kitchen floor. Did you sit down on the kitchen floor first, then kind of like relax and try to think about what happened, or what?
I think I just,
You just sat down, you just woke up on the kitchen floor, that's what you know. Okay, and she hadn't hit you or anything at this
No.
point, right? Okay, so then when you woke up on the kitchen floor, what's the first thing you remember? After waking up, I mean, just kind of getting your thoughts together?
yeah,
Okay. Was she still sitting on a chair taped up?
yeah,
Okay, and your mouth was still open? I mean, your mouth wasn't covered at any time?
it was taped.
Okay, your mouth was taped?
Yeah.
With duct tape?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you put anything else in her mouth, like anything, bandana or anything else on her eyes or face or anything?
They put a thing with him down.
Okay. You remember what color bandana it was? Okay. Where'd you get the bandana from that you put on her eye? Was it one of your bandanas?
Yeah.
Okay. So so when you wake up, after you wake up, she's on the chair, still taped up. There's tape on her mouth and maybe a bandana on her eyes.
Yeah.
Okay, so at this point, you don't know what to do. Then what do? Or what happens? Shortly after that, you said Mr. Harris came home. Now, did he come in the front door also?
Yes.
And where were you when he came in the front door? Did you hear him coming? In other words, did you hear the car or anything else ahead of time?
And I heard something outside.
Okay, so you were aware that someone maybe was going to come in. And when he came in, did you meet him at the door or what? Or where were you?
Close to the door.
Close to the door? Okay, and then what happened when he entered the door? Did you hit him right away or anything or what?
No.
No?
Just started struggling.
What do you mean by struggling? Did he grab you? Did you grab him?
We grabbed each other.
Okay, you grab each other, and then what happened?
We get, well,
You were moving around back and forth,
towards
struggling?
the kitchen and
Okay,
I pushed him down the stairs.
pushing downstairs towards the basement. Okay, and did you fall down the stairs?
Yeah, he fell on the stairs.
Okay, did you go down there and follow him up, or he started to come up again?
I looked at him, he was just laying there. I turned around to see what Sarah was doing, and she was trying to get away. And
Was
then-
she still sitting on a chair, or
Yeah.
was she, okay, so she was just trying to squirm
Yeah.
or move around?
And then he
Okay.
started coming back up, and I pushed him down again.
Push him down again.
And I went down the stairs, how he fell.
Now, when Mr. Harris came in the house, what was he wearing?
Big black pants and beige, checkered shirt.
Checkered shirt and black pants?
Yeah.
Okay. Does Mr. Harris, did he have glasses on? Was he wearing glasses?
Yeah.
Okay. So when you push him down the stairs, and you push him down again, then what happened? You said you checked on Sarah to see if
I went down the stairs and she got loose.
she got loose. How did you find out she got loose?
I went back up the stairs,
Where was she at?
going towards the kitchen, and I pushed her down, and I seen he's getting back up, so he went back, and she grabbed the knife.
She grabbed the knife. Now, where was the knife that she grabbed?
It was on the table.
But she grabbed it first?
Yeah,
Okay. And what did she do with the knife?
she tried to cut me with it,
How did she do that?
like that.
Did she catch him?
Hmm?
Did she catch him?
No.
Okay. So then how did you get the knife from her? Where did you do that?
I just grabbed her hands and I pushed her down.
Because she's not very big. And then when you push, that was in the living room?
Yeah.
Okay. And then when you push her down, then what happened?
She started coming, she got back up and she went, that's when I just went, I hit her with the chair.
You hit her with the chair? And did you hit her, you said you grabbed the back of the chair and hit her with the legs? Or did you grab the legs and hit her with the back of the chair?
She grabbed the bottom of the chair.
So you grabbed the bottom of the chair,
The chair was tipped over.
while the chair was flipped over?
I just grabbed what was close.
Was that the same chair that she was in, originally taped in? Okay. So you grabbed the bottom of the chair, you hit her with the chair, and how many times did you hit her about, you think? 3 or 4? Did you say? 2 or 3 times? And where did you hit her, what part of her body?
They're just swinging.
Okay.
I think most of the time I did the upper part of the body.
Upper part of the body? And then did she eventually get like knocked out or something, or what?
No, she grabbed the knife and
After you hit her with the chair, she grabbed the knife? You sure?
yeah,
Okay, and then what happened?
I grabbed it again from her and I started slashing.
Okay, now when she grabbed the knife again the second time, and you grabbed the knife back from her, where were you guys at? Was she, what position was she in? Was she laying on the floor?
No, she got
Or was she
on-
standing up?
She got like on her knees.
She got on her knees.
Yeah.
So she was like down on her knees, and she had a knife first, and you grabbed it from her?
And she lunged towards me like she tried to cut me with it.
Okay, and you take it from her,
Yeah.
and then you started slashing her?
I grabbed her hands and I took them and I just started slashing.
Okay, now when you started slashing, did she hold her hands up or anything else to defend, or to kind of block you?
And then she did it one time.
Okay, now and then when you slashed her, you said, how many times did you slash her with the knife?
On the 3 or 4 times.
Okay, and where did you slash her?
Hitting in the face and the knife.
Okay. And then did she go down and fall onto the floor?
Yeah.
Okay, and that was in what room?
The living room.
Okay, in the living room. Then, did you go back and see what was going on with Mr. Harris?
Yeah.
Okay, and what was he doing?
He was going towards the back of the basement.
So he was like running towards the back of the basement or walking towards the back of the basement?
Yeah.
Now, you had already hit him with the chair, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So then what did you do? When you went downstairs and you was walking towards the back of the basement, what happened then?
I pushed him and he fell into some stuff and I had the knife still in my hand and I started slashing.
Okay. Now, was he on the floor when you started slashing him? You say he fell into some stuff. So was he sitting up? Was he laying on the ground?
Like sitting on the wall.
Like almost sitting up?
Yeah, he fell on boxes or something.
Now, when you slashed him with the knife, were you holding his head or holding his hands or anything?
No,
No?
no.
Did he have his hands up or anything like that to try to block it, or did wasn't able to react in time, or what?
He did it one of, I think, like that.
Okay. When you slashed him, you said 2 or 3 times or 4 times? Okay. And where?
Around the face and the knife.
Face and the neck. And then did he fall down eventually?
Yeah, he fell down.
Did you see a lot of blood on him? And was he bleeding a lot?
No.
No, not too bad. But he fell down?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, Mr. Harris had one of those black electrical tie things on his wrist. And there was another one in the front. How did When did you put the tie on?
When it come in, be broken.
Okay, so when he first came in, was it before you pushed him down the stairs or after you pushed him?
After I pushed him the first time.
Okay, after you pushed him the first time, you went to tie him up,
Yeah, and
Okay.
it broken.
you broke him. So, where'd you get those electrical, or those little cable ties? Is that what you're talking about, those little black cable ties?
And they got it in the garage and put some stuff there.
You had a bunch of stuff in the garage? When you tied him on his wrist together, did you have him behind his back or in the front, or how?
In the front.
Okay. And did you get both of them tied on his arms?
Both, yeah.
Okay. When he broke it, where was he at when he broke the ties? Up in the upstairs or down in the downstairs?
They think on the stairs.
On the stairs? Okay. Alright. And then, you said Mr. Harris was wearing like a checkered shirt and some black pants.
Right.
Okay.
It's okay.
That's good. That's fine. When we found Mr. Harris, his pants were down. Like his pants were pulled down. You know how that happened? Did you pull his pants down? Not at all?
No,
Okay, did you remove any of his clothing at all?
no,
Okay. Did you go through his pants at all, take his wallet or anything like that?
no.
No?
Too scared.
Too scared at that point? Okay. Now, Sarah, you said she was wearing some black pants, and do you remember what kind of shirt she had on?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
She got a shirt sort of like mine.
Like a kind of sleeveless shirt or something? Did you take her pants off at all? Did you take her shirt off at all? Okay.
I didn't go there, but
You didn't go there you weren't gonna rape her or anything like that? Just went there to rob the house?
robbed the house and just got out of control.
Okay. Then, after you slashed Mr. Harris and he was down, Sarah was already unconscious. You thought they were both dead at that point?
Yes,
Because they weren't moving and you cut their throats?
they weren't moving, you know, they thought they were both dead. I didn't know what to do.
All right. So what did you think, or what were you thinking of doing?
It just, first thing that comes to my mind is to try to cover it up, so I,
Did you clean anything up? Did you wash anything up or pick anything up? No? Okay.
I just lit the boxes on fire there, closer to the stairs.
Hoping the whole house would burn and it would destroy the evidence, or?
Yeah,
Okay. Did you take anything out of the house with you when you went into the van?
No.
Nothing.
pushed it, I just lit it and ran out the front door.
So what happened to all the DVDs and all the other stuff? Where'd you leave that, or where'd that go?
Just in the garage and by the front door.
In the garage or by the front door? You just left everything and you just got out of there?
Yeah.
Was there anybody with you at all?
No.
You sure? Nobody helped you at all? Okay.
I just went to around the house.
Okay. And you said the first time you thought about robbing a house was just before Yolanda went on vacation?
Yeah.
Now, did you plan it so Yolanda would be gone?
No, it
Just happened that way? You woke up that morning and thought, okay, today's a good day?
just
You gonna do it?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And the only time you told anybody this is since, well, we've been in this room, right? Just told me. You haven't told anybody else about this? Okay. Then when you went home, you got in the van when you left. Do you remember how you went back? How'd you drive back home? Or what street did you take?
Same way
Same way, which was what? So I know where you're at.
the guy took wolves of pellets and then pellets and they got on the, what, that changed into willows there and I got on the highway.
Okay. When you got home, you know what time you got home about? Look at the clock at all?
No, it was still light though.
Still light out? Okay, and
And I
then,
don't remember.
so after that you said you taken a shower though? That night?
Yeah.
Okay. And then you took your clothes. you remember what shoes you were wearing?
Gym shoes.
Gym shoes? Okay, what are the gym shoes look like?
Just regular black gym shoes.
I mean, you know, like are they Converse or like running shoes or
No,
tennis
just
shoes?
cheap stuff from Walmart or something. I don't know.
Okay, they're black?
Black.
Okay. So where are those shoes at?
I threw everything in.
You threw your shoes out in the garbage?
Everything that I was wearing.
Everything you wear, underwear too?
Yeah.
Okay. And you put them in, did you put them in a bag first and then put them in the garbage or what? Okay. Now where's your garbage at? Where do you keep your garbage? Outside or inside the house you put it in the garbage? Inside can or you went to the outside can?
Outside can.
Okay.
Put them in the can.
Did you put them in a bag first or just put them straight in the can?
No, in the bag.
A bag. Okay. And that was that same night or the next morning?
Same night.
Same night, and you took a shower? Okay. All right. Okay, here's what I'm gonna do, okay? I'm going to, get you something to eat. Okay, I think it's important. You don't want nothing?
Just some coffee.
Just some more coffee? I'm gonna get you real coffee. Like a real good Dunkin' Donuts coffee, something a little better than this junk they got here. And then I'm come back with some coffee in a few minutes, okay? Just relax. You got enough cigarettes? I'm just calling. Okay, I'll do this here, okay? And, I'll be right back. Okay, I'll be back in a few minutes. I'll get you some real coffee because I do get something.
Something for the feet, maybe a blanket or something.
Oh, you cold?
Very cold.
Oh, absolutely. I'll get you, I think I can get your blanket, okay?
You gonna let Alonda go?
Well, what do you mean?
You gonna let Alonda go?
Well, she's here on her own. I mean, you know what I mean? She's here just trying to help out.
She's
You know,
here?
no, I don't know if she's here. What I'm saying is she's just helping, talking to the investigators. You know, she could go in any time. You know what I mean? She's just talking to make sure everything gets smoothed out. She wants, you know, she's just trying to help and cooperate. So she can go anytime. She may already be gone. But you want me to find out for you? I can do that. Okay.
She's really, she's,
Yeah, I mean, like I said, she may be at home. I don't know.
for her, it's not so good.
Okay, yeah, like I said, she, you know, she came in, she's been cooperating and everything and talking and, you know, just trying to help us out. And, she may be gone already. I'm just gonna find out for you though. Okay? Okay, now, here's a blanket. Here's one here. Okay? And I'll be back in a few more minutes with some coffee, okay? Here's some fresh coffee. Got enough smokes? We need some more. You give me a cold with that smoke. It's all right. All right. Here's what I want to do now, okay? I know we've gone over this. I want to go over, I want to show you a few photos, okay? Nothing big, just some photos. I kind of want to make it clear in my mind so there's absolutely no question about everything. Fair enough? Okay. What I want you to do, again, is kind of go over what happened from the start to the end, okay? Talk to me, and I'm going to show you some photos to go along with that, okay? So tell me from the beginning again. Now, you started that day, you were at home in the morning, and then you left the house. What did you, no, what did you, how did you, what did you leave the house in? Or what did you drive?
The blue car,
What's it?
blue van.
Okay, the blue van. And then, that's the, where was that van at when you, that's the one parked in the garage?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, how often do you drive that? I mean, about how often?
Usually don't drive it, only we'll take it to the flea market.
So you just take that van to the flea market?
Yeah.
Okay, and that was parked in the garage, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna show you some pictures, you said. Here's a picture. You recognize that?
Yeah.
Okay, what is that?
It's the plane selling away.
Okay. Is this the van that you took that day?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Now, you have another picture. You recognize that stuff or anything, that picture?
Yeah, it's the stuff where that sells at flea market.
Okay, this is the stuff you sell at the flea market, and this is the van it's in?
Yeah.
Okay. And then, this is just what, is your what?
All the stuff they sell.
Okay. Now you went, you told me, how did you go there again? You took the van and you drove what direction, or how did you get there to the house?
The highway.
Okay. What highway did you take?
What is that, 92? The 294. Got off by Willow there. Willow to by Wolf, and then Wolf down the Lake Street where they live
Okay. And then you parked on the street,
on the street.
on the same side of the street as them, or across, or sitting across?
Famous place.
Same side, and you said it was by, where? Past their house, or
No, in front.
in front? Okay. Now, you recognize that photo?
It's their house.
This is whose house?
Terrace and stuff.
Okay, that's the house you went to that day, at Wednesday?
Yeah.
Okay. And what time of the day do you think it was about when you went to the house? When you first went to the house?
And 12 o'clock, 12:30.
Okay, about 12 or 12:30. And then you left the van, you parked the van, and then what did you do? How'd you get into the house?
The back one.
The back window, okay. So you went, you crawled, did you have to climb in the back window, or how'd you get in the back window?
Opened the window.
It was open,
It's
or did
all-
you have to jimmy it or anything?
No, it was unlocked.
It's unlocked, and how did you know it was unlocked?
Because most of them are.
Most of them are? Okay. Now that's a picture I want you to look at. What does that look like? Can you recognize that?
Back of the house.
That's the back of whose house?
The Harris's house.
Okay. Can you show me on there, does it show which house or which window you went into?
It's when they built the kid.
This window here?
Yeah.
Okay. Now that window, what does that lead to inside the house? What room that you, what room is it?
What you call it, the dining room.
The dining room? Okay, there's a dining room table and stuff in there?
Yeah.
Okay. Now you went into the house, and when you first got into the house, you said you climbed in the window. What'd you do first? Or better yet, when you went into the house, when you climbed into the window, did you carry anything in with you in the house?
Hmm?
Did you take anything with you into the window in the house?
I had the white bag on
Okay. How big is that white bag? Was it a little bag or a big bag?
there. That's the garbage bag.
Like a garbage bag for the kitchen?
Yeah.
Okay. Does it got a tie on it at all? Does it kind of, you have the ties, or is it kind of, you just pull the string and it ties it up?
Had a string on it.
Has a string? Do you remember what color the string was?
Red and
Red, okay. You see that picture there?
mm-hmm.
What does that look like? Or what do you recognize that as? If you do.
Garbage bag.
Okay. And is this the garbage bag that you brought in?
Could be the
Okay, but you brought specifically, you said you brought a white garbage bag with a string, a red string?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, we'll come back to that. When you brought that bag into the house, what was in the bag? What kind of things was in that white bag?
Bandana,
What's it?
bandanas, gloves,
Mm-hmm. What kind of gloves?
the white thing used for cleaning.
Okay. And what else?
Just like stuff from the flea market I had.
Now, why did you bring this stuff to the flea market?
Just,
You don't know? Okay. So you brought that stuff in. Now, when you said you brought some gloves that were in that bag, were they loose gloves? Or did you bring them in a box? Or what was it? How did you bring, what kind of gloves did you bring in? Or how many gloves did you bring in?
I think there was in a box.
A box? Okay. I'll show you a picture there. You recognize that picture?
It's a box of gloves.
Is this the box of gloves, or look like the box of gloves that you brought in that day?
Could be they got it close to it, I think, and somewhere I seen they got a box of gloves too. That's could be the one I brought in there.
All right. Now, I'll show you this picture here. You see that picture?
Mhm.
You recognize what those look like, or what those are?
Glove.
Okay. All right. Are those the same type of gloves that you had with you?
Yeah,
Okay. And did you wear those gloves in the house?
I wore some. Yeah,
You wore some. Did you put the gloves on before you went in the house, or did you put the gloves on after you went in the house?
okay.
After. Okay. All right. So when you get into the house, you got this bag with you. What did you do when you first got in the house?
I wanted to make sure nobody was home and
How did you do that? How did you make sure?
just walked around.
So you walked around the entire house, upstairs and downstairs?
And the dog was upstairs.
Okay. And then what did you do?
And I started packing stuff up
Where did you start packing?
in the living room,
Okay. What are the first things you packed?
the DVDs and stuff.
Okay. Now, what did you pack them into?
Boxes were everywhere.
So you used boxes that were already there, or?
Boxes were there already.
Okay, and then did you place them somewhere particular in the house, or did you move them, or what did you do?
You can put them in the garage,
Put them in the garage, near the front of the garage, near the door of the back of the garage, or
towards the door.
towards the door? Okay. You mean the front door, or just the door right inside the garage?
Garage door.
Okay. So then you went to the DVDs, and then what other room did you go to next?
Just then in the corner was, I think it's that dining room or whatever the room they call was the piano there.
Mm-hmm. What was in there?
And just like looking through all the boxes and stuff.
Did you get anything out of there?
Yeah.
Okay. And then what other rooms did you go into?
And I went upstairs.
Okay. Then you went upstairs, and what rooms did you go in up there?
I looked in every room.
Okay.
I went into the back room. I think it's that Sarah's room. They
Okay.
found some money in the drawer. I took that.
So you took some money out of the drawer. That was Sarah's room, you think?
Yeah,
Remember how much money was that?
150.
Okay. And what'd you do with that money? Put it in your pocket, or?
Put it in my pocket.
Okay. And then what else did you take from upstairs, or what else did you?
I started packing up clothes.
Okay, where were the clothes from?
The ones with Sarah's room.
Okay. And what about any other rooms or any other? Did you take anything else from Sarah's? No jewelry, no knickknacks, no nothing like that? Okay. Now, what about the other rooms you went into? Did you go in other rooms upstairs?
I looked in the other rooms, but then I got, I don't know, scared or something. I went back downstairs.
Okay. So when we went back downstairs, did you take the stuff from upstairs at all, or did you leave it upstairs? Did you move it downstairs, or what?
I moved some downstairs.
Okay. And what did you do with it? Where did you put it?
I think in the garage too, and by the front door.
Okay. Then you were downstairs, and will you continue to look for other things downstairs?
I started looking, but then that's when Sarah came
Okay, that's when she came in. So when she came in, what happened?
in. We struggled a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
We got her on the ground.
Okay,
And I tied her hands and put her in the chair in the living room.
okay. Now you said, before you said you tied her, up, you had her on the ground, you said, and she said something to you. Did you say anything to her? Or were you telling her anything?
Did I tell her?
Like, did you tell her to do anything? Did you tell her anything at all? And give her any commands or anything?
Told her don't scream.
Told her don't scream. What did she say to you?
Won't you drink here? And then a few minutes later, she just said, take what you want
Okay.
and get out.
Did she say anything else to you? Did she ask you anything else?
No, I put tape on her.
Okay. Then you put tape on her mouth. What kind of tape was it?
The duct tape.
Duct tape. Okay. Now, was the duct tape, did you bring the duct tape or was the duct tape at the house? Okay. So, where did you get the duct tape from?
They had a lot in the garage.
Okay, but here's my question now. You said she came in and you struggled. And you had her on the ground, and then you were telling her not to struggle, right? And then you said that at some point she said, okay, take whatever you want and then leave. And she complied with you. In other words, she didn't resist after that, right?
No.
Well, then how did you get from that point to get the duct tape to tie her up? How did you do that?
The duct tape I took from the garage.
So when she came in, did you have the duct tape, a roll of duct tape in your hand? You know what I mean? That's what I'm trying to figure out. If she surprised you in the kitchen, how did you get her to a point where you could duct tape her or go get the duct tape while you're holding her down at the same time?
No, the duct tape was close by. It reached on we were right there by the basement door.
Okay.
I had it sitting right there where the stairs go down.
So had you already gotten the duct tape out of the garage and put it somewhere?
Yeah, I brought the duct tape.
Oh, you brought the duct tape with you?
No, from the garage.
Okay. Now, do you know why did you bring the duct tape from the garage before Sarah got there?
In case somebody come in.
Okay. So in case somebody come in, you could use the duct tape on them?
Yeah.
Okay. Basically tie them up.
I was gonna take this up and leave.
Okay. So you tied her up and you put duct tape on, you said her mouth, and then did you do anything else to her?
Her hand.
Her hands, you duct taped her hands, and then how did you keep her in, you said you put her in a chair?
Yeah.
And then what did you do? How did you keep her in a chair?
Her feet by the legs of the chair and around the chair.
What do you mean, what are her feet by the legs?
On the leg of the chair.
So you duct taped her around her legs and the chair leg.
Yeah.
Okay. And so she was in the chair, duct taped with her hands and duct taped on the bottom with her legs to the chair. And you had duct tape on her mouth, you put?
Yeah.
And then did you say anything with her eyes?
A bandana I put over.
Okay. The bandana that you used to put over, what color was that? You don't know? Okay. What kind of bandanas did you bring into the house? Or what color, or what design?
There was the bag what I brought. It was all clean.
Or what kinds do you remember? What kinds do you normally have?
The American flag one,
Mm-hmm.
the military one, like
Military, what do you mean by military?
green and like camouflage.
Like camouflage? Okay. Alright, so, I'm just getting another picture. Now what is this a picture of? Okay, are these the type of bandanas that you have?
Yes.
Okay. And you use, which kind did you use on her, do you remember?
I don't remember.
Okay. Alright. Now, so she was in the chair, and then what happened after that? Once you got her secure in the chair?
I started looking around again.
Okay.
Then,
Did you find anything?
and then I I went to the kitchen, just, they blacked out. I
Okay.
don't know, from the alcohol or from nervous or what.
Okay. Now, I noticed you smoke almost half a whole pack of cigarettes here today. So how many, when you were in there, we talked about cigarettes, you smoking cigarettes. Did you smoke a lot of cigarettes in the house? Do you remember how many cigarettes do you think you smoked in the house?
Maybe 10.
Maybe 10? Okay. How many packs of cigarettes did you bring into the house with you?
I had to walk back to the car.
Okay, so while she was in the chair, you went back out to the van?
Yeah,
How did you get back out to the van? Did you go to the front door or did you go around the back?
through the front door.
To the front door. Just walked out. What'd you get out of the van that time?
No cigarettes.
Just a cigarette? Okay. So how many packs of cigarettes do you think you went through when you were in the house?
Only like 10 cigarettes.
Only 10? Okay.
When smoking, I'll give them
Yeah.
very,
I'm gonna show you another picture. This stuff, and it's probably a repeat of stuff. You recognize what's in that picture?
yes,
Okay, could you tell me what it is?
it's self-release.
Okay, could you identify the different items there, what they are for me? Just like point to them or whatever and tell me what they are.
It's ropes.
Okay.
Right.
So this is ropes?
Mhm.
No, what kind of rope is that? What's that made of?
I think it's the nylon ropes.
Okay, now you brought that with you into the house?
Yeah, with everything was in one bag.
Okay, this was all in the bag that you brought it into, but
Yeah.
do you see the bag that you brought it, you put it in? Was it in another bag, or was it all into one bag, or just a big white bag?
Big white bag.
Okay, now, so go ahead, identify the rest of the items for me, if you can. What's there?
Tape.
Okay,
These are alarm things.
okay,
These things are bandanas and bandanas.
okay. What about these things? What are these things in the red package?
They're like screws.
Are they?
The screws.
Okay. Okay, so this is all the stuff you brought into the house. Now, why did you bring the rope in the house?
I said I just brought the whole bag. I don't know what I bring the whole bag for.
You know
I
why you
was
brought?
drunk, so very drunk.
Okay, that's all the stuff that you brought in that bag. That's what you remember. That was in the bag. Okay. Now, so then, once she was secure, you went back out, you got some cigarettes, you were in the kitchen, then you said, at some point, Mr. Harris came home. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. And what happened when Mr. Harris came home?
We come in, we start struggling.
Okay.
We got closer to the stairs.
Mhm.
We pushed them down the stairs.
Okay. So you push him down the stairs. And what again, what did you say he was wearing?
I think black pants and a checkered shirt.
Okay. And, did you say he had glasses on that day?
He did.
Okay. So you push him down the stairs, and then what happened?
Then I looked what Sarah was doing, and I looked at him. He wasn't like moving. He started to get up.
Mm-hmm. And then, he started moving, started to get up, and then what happened?
Now he come back up the stairs. I pushed him down again.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And then what happened?
Well, then I
Now you said, go ahead, what happened after you pushed him down the stairs the second time? When he tried to get back up, what happened? What was Sarah doing at that?
trying to get out.
Okay. Now, when you're pushing him down the stairs, how do you know she's trying to get out? Or is there any conversation between, is Mr. Harris, first of all, when he came in, did he say anything to you? When he saw you in the house, did he say anything to you?
He said the same thing. What are you doing?
Okay, and what did you say anything?
Hmm?
Did you say anything to him,
I
or?
didn't say anything. I don't think he recognized me either.
Okay, and then Did he say anything else to you while you were struggling?
No,
Was he yelling?
like almost yelling.
What was he saying?
Hmm?
Or what did it sound like?
Like, what are you doing here? You know, stuff
Okay.
like that.
Now, while this was going on, while he was yelling, what was Sarah doing? Or when you first started struggling with Mr. Harris?
Trying to get out.
Okay, was she saying anything? Was she yelling at all?
Dad, I think so.
She said, Dad?
I couldn't understand because she had tape.
Because she had tape on her mouth, but you heard, you thought it sounded like Dad. Was he yelling anything back to her?
No,
So he wasn't saying anything back to her. Did at any time was he yelling to her at all
no,
after that happened?
no.
Okay. Then you said she got loose at some point, didn't you? Now you said you pushed him down the stairs. He started to get up. You pushed him down again. Okay. And then he was down on the ground, down on the stairs for a little bit in the basement. And she was trying. You could hear her trying to get loose because you heard her yelling something.
Yeah,
Okay, so you went back to attend to her. Like, see how it's, you got him down here, you got her up there. So when you went back to attend to her, what did you find?
no, she was still tied up.
She was still tied up. Did she still have a duct tape on her mouth?
Yeah,
Okay, and the headband was still on her eyes?
yeah.
Okay, so then what happened?
And then he was just sitting in the bottom of this, by the bottom of the stairs.
Okay, but when you went back to her, what happened with her? Because you said she was still tied up.
Yeah,
Okay, then what happened?
they put the stuff on his hand.
Okay, so she was okay, you saw she was still tied up, then you went downstairs, where'd you get those little ties from? Like you said you put stuff on his hand, where'd you put on his hand?
Ties, they were in the garage.
Okay, alright, so, then you put them on his hands, was that while he was downstairs?
Yeah, by the stairs.
Okay, was he unconscious, or was he awake when you did that?
He was awake, but very,
Kind of out of
yeah,
it? Okay, so you put them on the front of his hands, like hands together, or how?
like that together.
Okay, and were you able to get them on both of them?
Yeah,
Okay, then what did you do?
and I wanted to see what Sarah was doing.
Okay, what was she doing?
She was out.
She was out, what do you mean?
She got away from the chair.
Was she still tied up
No, she
at all?
everything she took off.
She got everything off.
Yeah.
Okay, and was she running around or yelling, or what was she doing?
She started running towards me.
Running towards you. Okay, where were you when you first saw her and she was running towards you? What part of the house were you in?
Right there by the
Stairs or
basement door.
by the basement door? Okay, and then what happened when she, what was she was running towards you, what was she doing? Was she saying anything?
Get out, get out.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and then what happened?
She swung at me and I pushed her and
Okay,
she fell down and I turned around and he's coming up the stairs again.
okay,
And he already broke the ties.
okay.
So I pushed him again and I turned around and Sarah had grabbed the knife from the table.
Okay,
And she swung at me and I took that, I knocked it out of her hand and I just went crazy and then I started hitting her with the chair.
okay, and you said you hit her with the chair, and what part of the chair did you hit her with? Or how did you pick up the chair, or what part of the chair did you
The
hit her?
chair was laying down, I grabbed it by the leg.
Okay, and then she was on the ground when you hit her? Or she was kneeling down, you said, or what?
She was eating up like kneeling.
Okay, and you hit her where, what part of her body did you hit?
The upper part, shoulder and head,
Okay, and how many times did you hit her?
2 or 3 times.
Okay. Anything happened to the chair when you hit her?
Like, finally.
Okay. So then what happened, what was the result to her when you hit her with the chair? Did she get knocked out?
No, she went down and I looked down and he is coming back up. And
When you looked down where, the stairs, or?
yeah,
Okay, and he was coming back up? Okay, now, what happened then? Was he like running back up the stairs or standing above at the stairs when you saw him, or what?
he was coming up
Okay,
like on his hands and knees.
okay, he was crawling the stairs.
Yeah.
Did he say anything while he was doing that?
And
Okay, and then what happened?
then Sarah grabbed the knife again, and that's when I grabbed the knife on her and
Okay.
started lashing at her.
Okay. And you started what at her?
Just swiping with a knife.
Okay. How many times did you swipe her with a knife?
3 or 4 times.
Okay. And where did you hit her, or where did you hit her with the knife?
In the hand, and I think in the face with the knife.
Okay. The knife.
The shoulder. And
Okay. Now, if you describe the knife, what does the knife look like that you had?
It's a long kitchen knife. You cut something with, cut meat or something with.
Okay. For how long was it? Show me. Okay. Okay. You remember? Okay. I'm gonna show you a picture. Do you recognize that? Okay. What is that?
That's the knife.
Is this the knife you used on Sarah?
Yeah.
Okay. And then after, you said you slashed her, you said how many times?
3 or 4 times.
Okay, in the face and the neck
And that hand.
and the hand. And then did she go down then?
Yeah, she went down.
On the floor. Okay. Then what happened?
And then he's coming up, and I went down there. And I pushed him a little bit. He got up, and I pushed him. He fell like into the box, and I hit him with the chair. And then the knife was there. I don't know how I carried it down the stairs or what. And then
Okay. Now, you said you hit him with the chair. Now, did you bring the whole chair downstairs with you? Or did you bring part of the chair? Or
I didn't recall. I know they get the big chairs are everywhere.
These are like the dining room type chairs, right?
It's in the living room, dining room.
Okay.
They had before two in the basement.
Okay. You had a couple chairs in the basement. Now, did you hit Mr. Harris with the same chair you hit Sarah?
No,
No? A different chair?
yeah.
Okay. I want to show you something. See if you can identify that. Now, you see in this picture, do you see what this is right here? Can you tell?
Looks like a leg of a chair.
Okay. All right. Okay. Now, you said that you hit Mr. Harris with a chair. After you hit him with the chair in the basement, then what happened? You said the knife was there. The same knife you showed me, that I showed you, or that you identified before?
Same one.
Okay. And then what did you do with that knife?
Oh, he started getting up. I started slashing into him too.
Okay.
I
And how many
decided
times?
out of control.
How many times did you slash at him?
3, 4, 5 times.
And where did you slash him at?
I hit him in the arm and in the face. And then the neck too.
Okay. Did he say anything? Was he saying anything to you while you were doing this?
And just, oh God, I think he said.
What's it?
Oh God, I think he said.
Okay. Now, is this the same knife that you used on Mr. Harris?
It's the same one.
Okay. And the same knife that you used on Sarah Harris? Okay. Okay, now I understand, and you got to that point, and what did you think the condition was of both of them?
I thought they were both dead already.
Okay. Now, here's some questions I got. I want to go along just to clear things up, to make it perfectly clear about what happened now. I showed you a picture of that bag, okay? And there were many things in the bag. Now you said you wore gloves, but you didn't wear them into the house.
No.
When did you put the gloves on?
Oh, I got in that house.
No, I mean, when did you put the gloves on? Before you went in the house?
No.
After you went in the house, right? Yeah, but at what point in the sequence, from the time that you got into the house to the time you looked around the house and moved stuff to the time Sarah came home, at what point did you, or was it after everything was over,
No.
did you put the gloves on?
I went and looked around the house, see if there, and I put the gloves
So after, once you knew no one was there, then you put the gloves on?
on. Yeah,
Okay. And why did you wear the gloves?
try to put my fingerprints everywhere,
Okay.
even though they were everywhere in the house.
Okay. Now, you said the duct tape, you said that you used on Sarah was already in the house.
Yeah.
And you got it from
The garage.
the garage. But before Sarah came home, you took the duct tape out of the garage, you said? In case somebody came home, and you put it where? Or where did you put it actually?
Right by the basement door.
Near the front?
Where the stairs go, where everything meets there, the living room, kitchen, basement door.
Okay. All right.
And it just happened how we were struggling, we fell right down next to the, right there.
Okay. You see this picture here? What does that look like?
See, they
Okay. You see anything else stuck to it?
plastic bag,
Wow.
and this piece of glove.
Okay. How would that piece of glove get on that tape, do you know? Do you remember?
You know,
Okay. When you were in the house with the gloves on, when you were struggling with Mr. Harris and Sarah, did you have the gloves on at that time?
no,
Okay. So you had the gloves on when you were, after you looked around the house and you started to do some things. At what point did you take the gloves off?
I just took them off, I don't know why I took them off.
Was it before Sarah came home?
Yeah,
Okay. And do you remember where you put the gloves?
on the floor, I just threw them on the floor.
Okay. So you threw the gloves on the floor. Did you, okay, so you put the gloves on the floor. So while you were struggling with the Harrises, you know, when you hit her with the chair and hit Mr. Harris with the chair, and you used the knife on Mr. Harris and Sarah Harris, you didn't have gloves on at the time, right?
No,
Okay. Alright, so now after you said they were both unconscious and you thought they were dead,
yes,
what did you do then?
I lit the bars on fire,
Okay,
closest to the base of the stairs.
alright. Something I want to show you again. I know we went back to this bag before, but in this bag, there's many items. Okay? Now, at some point, did you pick some things up? You know, like you said, you didn't know what to do. You were trying to cover the thing up. So what did you at any point did you put items in this bag? Like kind of collect some of the things that you had laying around it.
I think I kicked up some of the stuff that was lying there, right down there, around. I started stuffing everything in the bag.
In this bag here?
Yeah,
Okay. Do you remember what items you stuffed into the bag?
maybe plastic bags and, I don't know, I think that's the same bag what I brought in, and I was just stuffing the duct tape and stuff was on the, when I tied her up and she broke it loose.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Then you collected some things and you put them in this bag, correct?
Yes,
Okay. Those things you picked up were all the things that were in the house that had something to do with what happened, right? Is that fair to say?
yes.
Okay. All right. Now, some of the things that were in the bag, one other thing I want to ask you about, I know we maybe touched on it earlier. Do you recognize, please?
They're condoms.
Okay. It's a picture of condoms, right? Do you recognize ever seen those particular condoms before?
No, I don't use condoms.
You never used condoms?
I mean, you don't want to wear, we don't have that much sex anyways, because she's got menopause. So,
So you don't use condoms at all?
no.
But if I tell you, and I'm gonna be honest, be straight with you, because I'm trying to just kind of cover up some loose ends, what we talked about, these condoms, if I tell you these condoms were in the bag, you know, that you had collected and everything, or maybe the bag that you had gotten from, with all the stuff from the van, you know, the stuff you brought in the house, You know why they would be in that bag?
You know, I don't know why. I know they're in the bag, probably in the bag.
Okay. So they were probably in the bag?
Yeah, I don't know why,
Did you bring those in for a specific reason?
you know.
Okay. I mean, were you thinking that maybe if you were there, maybe you'd have sex with Sarah?
No.
I mean, if she was there.
No, I can't, I got a problem anyways,
What do you mean?
get to know.
No. Okay.
I can't anyways, I got a big, I don't know what it is, whether it's cancer or whatever, I got big lumps in my testicles, I can't get it off.
Okay. I know I wanna go over a couple pictures, all right? And you said you smoked about 10 cigarettes. What kind of cigarettes did you smoke in the house?
I think it was like,
Okay. Well, now, briefly, I wanna show you something. This is a photo I showed you, yesterday. You remember this?
yeah,
Okay. That's a pack of cigarettes there. Are those your cigarettes? Is that your cigarette pack?
they probably never mind.
Okay, and what do you recognize this as?
It's dope too.
Okay, is that the roll that you used?
I think there was a few rolls.
There was a few rolls? Okay. Do you know anything about that cell phone? Whose cell phone that is?
I think it was, fell out of Mr. Harris's pocket.
Okay. Right. What pocket did it fall out of? You know, his front pocket, shirt, pants pocket, you know what?
I think his shirt pocket, probably
Okay.
their phone.
Okay. Alright. Here's a picture. What does that look like to you?
Cigarette butt.
Okay. Is it your cigarette butt? Okay. Do you remember putting the cigarette butt in the toilet?
No, I don't
You
remember.
remember that? Okay. Let me show you something else. Now, what does that look like to you? I don't know if it's the greatest picture, but,
Cigarette butts.
okay, in, what are they in?
Looks like a bucket.
Okay. Does that bring anything back to you? Do you remember anything about that?
Cigarette butts in the bucket, water.
Okay. Did you put those cigarette butts in that water? Or the cigarette butts in that bucket of water?
They probably did, I was smoking.
Okay. We're smoking a lot?
I was smoking about 10 cigarettes a day.
You said that when you went out.
I had it,
Mhm.
few cigarettes in one pack and I ran out, I missed it, I got to get it.
What's the most time that you were away from the house? After you were in the house and after what happened to Sarah, that's what you said you went back out to get some more cigarettes?
Yeah, it was only a minute I ran, I was running back.
Did you drive anywhere else?
No,
So you were only out a minute and then the rest of the time you were in the house?
yes,
Okay. Alright. So you said after you were done, after you thought that they were dead, you said you lit something on fire.
the boxes
That was where?
closest to the stairs,
Okay. And how did you light them? What did you use?
a lighter.
A lighter. Okay. And why did you start the boxes on fire?
They thought they were dead already and trying to get rid of them. Evidence of it.
Okay. All right. One of the things you said is when Mr. Harris was down in the basement, and you went down there with the chair, or you went down there and he was in the basement, you said he was like walking to the back of the basement or running towards the back of the basement, you said?
He was going towards the back.
And when you say going towards, what do you mean by going towards?
He was leaning up against the stuff that was there and walking towards the back.
Okay.
There is a telephone back there.
There is? Okay. And then you said you did what?
I pushed him.
You pushed him down? And then you hit him with what, the chair? The chair that was down there?
There was a chair down there. She had one chair or two chairs. They got
Okay.
them.
Okay.
They had too many in the kitchen.
Now, you said that, some of the stuff you put in the garage, the DVDs and that, right? You place them in the garage. Now, normally when you were cleaning for Harris, did you ever clean the garage?
Yeah,
Oh, you did it? Sometimes you clean the garage? What kind of things would you clean in the garage? Just how would you clean?
if we move stuff around,
Okay.
big spider webs.
Okay. Okay.
Sweep.
Okay.
What I could sweep, the same thing like in the basement, sweep, or they had it, they vacuum cleaner downstairs too, she make me vacuum the floor and stuff.
The last time you saw the last time you saw Sarah Harris, where was she at? Or where was her body?
In the living room,
In the living room. She lying on the floor or sitting up on something or what?
falling on the floor.
Okay. Did she have her clothes on?
Yeah,
Okay. Did, was she duct taped?
no, she kept everything off.
Okay. Now, I don't want to, I'm not trying to show photos just to, anything else except for to get a clear understanding of what happened there. You understand that, right? And I'm not trying to do anything but understand exactly what happened, so there's no, no confusion. Sarah Harris, the last time you saw her, you said she was on the floor. Okay, you thought she was dead, and you said she wasn't duct taped though.
No,
Are you sure?
yeah,
Okay. I'm gonna show you a photo. I wanna make sure, I just wanna make sure that, we're clear. Now, you see that photo? Okay, what is that photo?
it's
Okay. Is that the same clothes you saw her wearing that day?
yeah,
Okay. Now, do you see her hands? And what does it look like where her hands are?
lying on her stomach.
Okay. Do you see duct tape on her wrists?
I don't from here, but
Okay, here,
I
let me show you this.
have
Here, let me show you this, You see that now?
yeah,
It's a better picture. You see where her hands are? You see how her wrists are together? Does that look like her wrists are duct taped together?
they weren't.
Okay. Did you afterwards maybe put the tape back on,
No,
fix it back up how it was?
no,
Okay. So you remember that she had broken free from the duct
yeah.
tape?
I remember she didn't have nothing on.
Okay.
And everything was so fast that I know she had her hands free because she had the knife in her hand.
Okay. After this, when Sarah was lying there, did you do anything else with Sarah?
No.
Did you take her clothes off at any point?
No,
Okay. Did you touch Sarah in any sexual way?
no,
Okay. Now, in the last couple hours, you've told me what happened in the house between you and Sarah Harris and Mr. Harris, correct?
yes,
Okay. And the only time that you've told anybody, or we've talked about it, is right here in this room.
yes,
Okay. And no one else asked you about it, or no one else talked to you about what happened. You didn't tell them, anybody else about what happened, right?
no,
Okay. Now, that's here in this room we talked about, just you and me.
yes,
Okay. No one at Buffalo Grove, while, we were gone, talked to you about anything, right? About this, right? I mean, as far as this, we're talking about right now.
no, just no,
Okay. Now, we've treated you well.
yes,
I mean, we've given you something to drink, we've offered you food. Are you hungry now? You had a chance to smoke. You want some more cigarettes?
yes, please.
Okay. Did you have an opportunity to sleep while you've been here?
I did, but I couldn't sleep, I didn't
Okay.
sleep.
All right. And you're warming up and everything right now?
Yeah,
I mean, do you want some food now?
no, not for me.
Okay. Do you want another blanket or something so maybe you can take a nap, or maybe you think you feel like you might be able to sleep now? A little bit?
No,
You want another blanket? Maybe you
I'm
can lay down?
very cold.
Okay. Okay, so what, right now, you need more cigarettes?
Yes, please,
Anything else, coffee, food?
coffee,
Okay.
please.
I'm gonna get you wanna use the bathroom again?
Yeah,
I'll let you use the bathroom, I'll get you some more coffee, I'll give you another blanket. You don't want any food? Okay,
so
just,
I'm
just give me a couple minutes.
Did they have rendezvous?
Well, as far as I know, I think she's at home. I mean, the last time I checked, or the last time I knew, was that she was talking to she had come into the police station, she was talking to them, and as far as I know, she is on the way at home, or she's gone. She may still be at Buffalo Grove, but I know she came in, and they were either gonna give her a ride back, or let her take her van back to the house. So I can check on that, okay? Let me get you some more coffee. Just give me a minute. You wanna use the bathroom?
Yes, please.
Okay, yeah, we can do that now. Are those all off?
It's, um,
Give me a cigarette in the, oh, you gonna put it in here? Just leave that in there like that. I don't want to case. Okay, so you want any food or anything else? You want another blanket?
blanket.
A blanket? Okay. So we talked already, we've gone over the whole thing about, you told me everything that's involved, right? And you told me everything that happened, everything, no one else is involved, and everything you told me was voluntary, everything you told me, I mean, I didn't threaten you, right? I mean, I didn't make any promises about what's going on.
Mhm.
Okay. And, nobody hit you, right?
Mhm.
Okay. So just a blanket, but you're not on any food right now?
Yeah.
Okay. I just want you to relax, okay? I mean, maybe you're drinking so much coffee, I don't know if you'll be able to relax or sleep. But I'll get you a blanket, okay? And we'll work on getting you another pack of smokes. Hey, Russell, I was gonna get you another blanket, but what we're gonna do is we're gonna bring you back to Buffalo Grove. And that way you can, lay down, put your head down, and then you'll be more comfortable. So in a couple minutes, we're gonna get some things together and we'll bring you back to Buffalo Grove. Okay? Give me a couple minutes. Hey, Russell, we're gonna take it off. You just leave your blanket in here. We'll take care of this. Some stuff. Go back to Buffalo Grove. So we can try and put you off there. You want to use the bathroom?
Richard Sedelmaier pleaded guilty to 2 counts of first-degree murder and was sentenced to life without parole. Reverend Eileen Harris had no involvement in the murders. A woman of faith, she forgave Sedelmaier and fought hard for him not to be given the death penalty.